Hello, everybody, hello. Hi. I need to turn my music up because that dropped, and I'm trying to ramp up the vibe. My music's getting all moody and sad. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Chasing Tales. Welcome to Mini Arc Monday. This is not where you'll usually find me, I know, but we have got some very, very much not D&D to bring you today. We've got, and I'm excited for this, and I cannot quite overstate how much, Tales of Xadia. If you are coming here from our various posts excited for it, you know why we're excited for this. If you haven't seen it, The Tales of Xadia is a Netflix show, a cartoon 3 seasons in of fantastical, adventurous glory. It's fantastic and amazing, and it's been a while since a new season came out, and in the meantime, between pandemics slowing down production, they have released a tabletop RPG in conjunction with Fandom RPG and Cortex, the role-playing system that is Cortex. And so
we've got a hydrate from Tal already. So I hope
I mean,
has their drinks
that's a surprise. So, what we're going to be doing is diving into a wonderful two-part, I think, adventure in this system. Now, it's a new system for all of us, so you'll be bearing with us as we figure our way through the Cortex system, which is very different to D&D, so you'll be joining us on that journey of discovery. But I'm not just here with myself. We have the wonderful Jordan that you know and love from Chasing Tales. We are joined by the incredible Dan from Nat One Fun and Taylor from Backwater Bastards. Guys, welcome to the Chitch channel. How are you guys doing?
Amazing. How's it going? How you doing?
Ready to get hot. But I came that way, so.
Oh my God.
That is not my real voice.
I'm ultra nervous.
I know what you mean. It's a new system. So when they released this, it's not even out yet. They have released playtest content for the system and also a one-shot adventure, which we are summarily ignoring. We are going to be taking the information from it to try and cobble together our own adventure, and we'll just kind of see how making an adventure in the Tales of Xadia RPG works. So, I'm sorry and you're welcome, depends how this goes. We've all been kind of re-binging the show and catching up, so our lore knowledge should be there, I think, but we're running this pretty loosey-goosey just to get back into the setting. So if we get dice rolls wrong, if we get bits of the rules wrong, if we have fun in Xadia, aces. So to get ourselves a little bit closer to getting into this, we're going to start off with a recurring thank you to our friends at the Cognitive Merchant, wonderful purveyors of handmade leather and vegan leather, dice bags, dice trays, dice cups, TTRPG accessories, LARP gear, and the rest. We've been our friends for a very long time, and you should go and be their friends as well. You can do that by following thecognitive.merchant.co.uk and finding their Etsy store and their socials and supporting them and getting your hands on some really cool shit. With that, what else is there? Is there anything else, or are we just gonna fucking dive into this shit?
I think just dive in.
All right. In which case, what we'll do, I think, is we'll bring ourselves in, and then we'll have some character introductions. Before that, there we go. We, unfortunately, are not 4. We were lining this up to be a 4-person adventure joined by the wonderful Sheena of the Fourth Culture, but unforeseen circumstances have made it impossible for Sheena to be here with us today. So just sending love and thoughts out to Sheena and hoping that whatever situations may befall you end positively. We love you and we hope to see you soon. And so we march on in fury, and we do so in the Arbor Reach ascent in the heart of Xadia. The 3 of you, elves from the magical, primally infused lands of Xadia, have been gathered together by an elf. More specifically, an earthblood elf with deep olive skin, flowing dark brown hair separated by majestic sweeping antlers, vibrant green eyes, facial hair that comes down the side of the jaw and meeting with a small tuft at the end. In their hand, with all 3 fingers, wrapped around a long staff at its end of like a long staff of like dark, almost like oak-like wood. At its tip, it seems to hold a large, slightly glowing, kind of twisting chunk of amber. Inside it, you can see multiple still glowing insects caught within it. This is Ordarius. Ordarius has brought you all here, for in these mountains, in these jungles, lies a very rare magical creature called a Kinvra. He describes the Kinvra as this 4-armed, slightly smaller than a human monkey, coated in beautiful, glowing, flowing fur, many, many gorgeously colorful eyes as it swings through the jungles. But it's rare, and its numbers have been dwindling. So, Orderius has gathered you together to assist him in traveling through these dangerous jungles, ascending through the mountains to find a Kinvra, so that he may study its movements, its patterns, learn of it, and hopefully move towards protecting this strangely dwindling creature. As we gather, we find ourselves in what is essentially a small camp near the base of these mountains, toward the outskirts of this jungle itself. In this small stone hut, one of the staging posts for expeditions that travel through these mountains, for now abandoned and repopulated by yourselves. You've been traveling for maybe a day or so out of the nearest town to reach the Arborreach ascent. Who are you? Dan, we'll start with you. Who are you? Who's your character, and what do you look like?
Well, you can see my character as you can see right here below. I don't know, one of these corners here. But my name is Ignis. You can call me Iggy for short. I was sent here with my sister, and we were to be looking for this strange elf in the woods. I don't know. I think my talents are being wasted, but my sister seems to think different. I am also a Sunfire mage.
Perfect. Taylor, the sister.
Well, I'm the sister. I'm Bass, which is short for Basalt. I'm being Taylor right now, so maybe I should use my Taylor voice. I'm the less magic half of this. I'm the less magical half of this duo. We're siblings. You can see the resemblance. We've both painted ourselves. Mine is not showing up well. But Dan obviously paints all the time, so look at that. Looks phenomenal. I'm the sword half of this duo, so I am a knight of the Queendom of Luxaria. And I cannot wait to magmatize myself. New word. The first one's free. But yeah, I'm Bass, and I'm so jazzed to be out of the kingdom, the queendom. Whoops, already tripping up myself. And we are here, we are going on a hunt, we're going to meet new elves, and I'm here to make friends because at home everybody knows my shit. And so I can't wait to meet somebody new, and Iggy is on me, and I'm trying my best, but, well, we've got our matching the headpieces on now, and we are here.
Amazing.
By the suns.
Public apology to the entire continent of
Already,
Australia.
please. Absolutely. Like, out front, an absolute apology to all Australians ever.
This is an homage to you.
This is an homage. This is an homage.
And Jordan, who
There
are you
wasn't a
playing?
Sorry, I'm just expecting some kind of notice from the Australian government that you two are banned
Yeah.
from entering.
Cease and desist
Any
immediately.
minute now. Just
Okay, we
The
understand.
Australian embassy is here.
It's great.
We apologize if your stream gets taken down.
I will
Delete
use
the
my
bod.
normal voice
Blacklisted.
So, hello, I am Jordan. You'll see me here often on Chasing Tales. I am going to be playing Sylnari Gladoran. That's how I'm pronouncing it. I keep switching back and forth how I pronounce that last one. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, the last name's Gladoran, but people call it Glade. Like, people call them Glade for short sometimes. And I'm like, that messes with my head a lot. Why did I choose that?
Same.
But they are a fairly old Skywing elf who usually goes around with a vest and some loose-fitting trousers. They will always be found with their spear at their side, which you can see in this wonderful art here made by Dan himself, which is a sort of brought together gnarled wood, a bit of the cloth wrapped around the side, and the two-pronged golden spearhead at the top. Their trusted weapon that they use at all times. and they're mostly just around here, exploring the lands, enjoying the nature. And when they heard about a creature in need of rescuing, they figured it was a great use of their time. This is a real nice exploration, a real nice discovery type journey for them.
Perfect. Well, as the three of you begin to prepare, you're loading your packs with water, with rations, with food. Ordarius enters this stony chamber of this small hut. He kind of bows low, his antlers cresting just in within the doorframe. As he's kind of entering, he turns back and whispers something towards his mount. What appears to be almost like an immense horse with dark brown fur, kind of glowing green dots across its breast, leading to a massive, almost dog-like head with a kind of a large beard that kind of flows beneath, and antlers of its own that kind of stretch back down its long neck. He pats that, kind of bidding it to stay, then leans down low and comes in. Well, tonight we should bed down here and get some rest. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. I need to reiterate to all of you my thanks in you joining me. This mission of conservation is dear to my heart in these lands, more so. So, while you may all be far from home, you have my thanks in your aid. Now, have you any questions, the three of you? And he begins to sit down in what looks to be kind of a large but old and worn sofa in kind of the corner of this room. Puts his feet up, leans back, his hair kind of falling over the back of it, his antlers kind of glinting in the firelight in a small fireplace in the corner.
When do we leave?
Well, we should probably leave just after sunrise. It's a long journey. We don't wish to be caught out here in the dark. This forest is as equal parts dangerous as it is beautiful.
Dangerous? Well, what manner of beasts are you expecting?
Well, there are many kinds. Everything from the wild beasts you may be more familiar with from your lands. Wolves occasionally patrol through the woods, but, well, many plants themselves here in this Earthen Kingdom are so empowered with magic that they have a semblance of life to them in their own right. Plants that will lean out and grasp towards you, but what fears me more, well, the manners of insects, spiders, giant wasps, plants that look like blooming flowers but instead bear teeth ready for your supple, moist flesh. And he kind of has a glint of a smile as he delves into the descriptions of these dangerous elements of flora and fauna.
I'm glad that my abilities have been diminished to squashing insects.
Oh, come on,
Oh, Egg! Come on now.
You gotta be careful.
Bats!
If you don't respect the insects and you don't respect the plants, they're gonna respect you back. And that's how you find yourself getting caught out.
It's quite all right. As we venture forth, I'm sure you'll find your talents well needed. That's why I'm so excited to have all of you along with your variety of talents, as they will be invaluable. But there's one thing. He kind of looks down and casts his eyes towards the burning fire. There's one thing that makes me slightly more cautious. Above all, the giant spiders and hungry, hungry trees. There is a rare form of insect. Large. But legends tell, I've not seen it myself, legends tell that its bite can drive you insane. Turn you into something monstrous. Ravenous. Insane. I have not come across it myself, but I just wish us to be cautious and careful as we progress. Not to take anything for granted, and as much as the wild things in this forest are beautiful and have as much right to continue their existence as we do, be conscious of the danger. We are here to save one thing that requires our aid more so than species in abundance that may pose harm and danger.
I don't plan on staying my hand if anything comes straight for me, just so you know.
Good.
I love a good bag.
I'm glad to hear it. Something like this. Let me show you. He lifts up his large gnarled staff. He places the amber toward the ground. You see within the yellow stone, the different kind of frozen bugs in that space begin to glow, like fireflies still living trapped in its yellowish prison. As the glow spreads across the floor, you see the wooden planks, small veins and peels of wood chips begin to reach up and pull back, assembling and shifting in color as they amass together into a small spider across the floor, about the size of your palm. Across its top, the brown wood begins to flourish and bloom into a small and large flower that its leaves spread wide so you can no longer see its wooden, spindly legs, and you see nothing but a beautiful plant. Things like this. Beautiful to behold. Marvelous. However, he flicks a small pebble from his pocket towards it, and the whole top of the flower immediately, with sharp teeth, and jumps into the air, grabbing it, and then under a chair. Now imagine this, but the size of a horse. Simple bugs may be far beneath you, good Sun Knight, but I believe your light will find its purpose here.
Just to say really quick, you should probably have someone go and get that one back.
He leans down and looks beneath the thing. No, it's gone, it's fine.
Well,
This is its house now.
At least let them know to keep their eyes out.
Well, we're not staying here long, just the night. It'll probably go and rest, maybe eat some mice. By the time we're back here, it'll be long gone. Probably. A problem for another day.
This doesn't bode well for the future, Elf.
Well, that's why I need protection. It's why I need people to stand beside me, make sure that these large, dangerous creatures don't pose a threat to myself. Because my magics, while practiced, well matured, I would not carry forth the hubris that I have mastery over the jungles in its entirety. So, for now, rest. Rest well. If you drink, don't drink too deep, for tomorrow at sunrise, we venture forth to the Arboreach ascent, and we face the hazards that await us. Now, excuse me, all of you. Rest well. He stands, kind of bowing low to make sure his antlers don't scrape across the lower beams of this hut, and he steps out the door to one of the other smaller outhouses which hold the various bunks for this small outpost. As for the rest of you, the evening is yours, whatever you wish. You may find your ways to bed straight away, you may linger and chat, you may whatever you wish.
Iggy will kind of continually begrudgingly stuff any kind of rations or whatever she has prepared for this journey. And then once finishing, she will pull out a small book, one of golden kind of filigree across the edges, a brownish red binding, and she'll just begin to kind of flip through it and read.
Very good. The rest of you, Syl, Bas.
I think still will take some time just doing some simple maintenance for this sphere.
Sorry, I don't know
All right. Just ignore that. It's the voices in my head. Sometimes they get out.
What the hell was that?
It's Syl's magical box, okay? In their bag.
Turns out there's a little mimicry plant behind Syl that quickly scuttles away. You know?
It's that thing that went under the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Please vacate the premises in 5 minutes. Bas is definitely sword sharpening because, obviously we're gonna have to kill some things. It does seem that way. And she's also gonna kind of casually flit around the room to see what everyone else is doing. Kind of looking. Eek, what are you reading? What are you reading? Eek, did you bring?
She kind of pulls away and turns so you can barely see it if you're trying to reach around. She's just, you wouldn't understand it.
Oh, Eek,
Yes.
let me see that picture. Eek, come on. I might understand some of it. Oh hell.
She leans it down, and you can see quite a bit of arcane writing and symbols and everything, and it's definitely a spell book of some sort. It's not necessarily a spell book, but it's something that she can write down, and maybe a mage's journal.
Eek, do one. Do some more. Just.
She rolls her eyes,
Like
and
the
she
bug.
looks around the room, and can I see the bug anywhere? Can I try to find the bug?
You can try, and I think that's probably a good place to start. Attempting to roll stuff.
We're gonna attempt to roll.
So, viewers in the
Okay.
chat, you'll be able to see just beneath us, there is a box there with a couple things laid out. You can see the pool, our names. I'm the narrator. We have Iggy, Syl, Baz, and selected die and effect die. Now, this is how the Cortex system works. Now, as Iggy is going to attempt to do something, this is, I believe, a challenge. And before Iggy rolls, I will need to roll the difficulty value, the DC for this. Now, I think scanning this relatively small and unpopulated room is going to be fairly easy, so I'm going to make this 2d4. So I've rolled those, so the DC for this is going to be 6. I'm going to move these off to one side, I'm going to remember that. Now, Iggy, going through your character sheet, you'll have your attributes, your distinctions, your values, and your specialties. Go through those, and what things from your various areas do you think are going to apply to this? What would you like to use to search this room?
Well, of course, the first thing you want to use when you're searching for something is your awareness.
Mm-hmm. Do you have one die?
And then possibly my justice, something that is burdening me, and I want it done. I want it over with.
Okay. Do we have any other distinctions or specialties that you think are applicable to this, or do you think those two of awareness and justice are where we want to stop?
Oh no, absolutely. We're going to be a hot-headed sun mage. Fuck this little bug, eh?
Hell yes, of course. We've got 3 die.
Absolutely.
So what are your die for those various things?
So far right now we got 1d8 and 2d8, 1d6.
Okay. In that case, do you want to roll those that 1d8 and 2d6?
Sure thing. Right, low roll.
Ooh.
But a fairly easy thing. So now that we have this roll, the way in the Cortex system works is you pick 2 die, and that's going to be their total. Now, we've put those... where are you assigned? Perfect. So in the selected die, we've got the 3 and the 2, so your total is 5. So that's not enough to succeed.
You could make your total 6. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
Look, all right?
No, that's perfect.
In my defense, I'm an idiot. All right.
That's why we're related. Could you guys tell?
For as much as Iggy is a superior, condescending sun mage, still an idiot. But perfect. So we've selected our 2 die, which is our total, so that comes to a 6, which is just enough, and the effect die. Now, in Cortex, your effect die is not included in your total, but the size of that die. So here, the only thing that matters is that is a D8. We put that to one side, and where relevant, that is going to impact kind of how well you've succeeded. Like, so given you have got the total, how well does that do? Now, you have achieved the total. You've achieved a 6, and with a D8 effect die, what that means for this is that as you scan the room, you get down low and you begin checking out the various, like under the furniture and looking around for this strange, flowery, kind of built out of wood spider. And you are very, very confident that there is nowhere it could have gotten out of. There's no hole through the rocks or anything. You are also very sure that it is not there.
It is not here.
It's not there.
But was the magic visible to me? Could I see like any sparklies or?
Well, hold on. I was just looking.
That was just
You're just looking with your incredible awareness.
my eyeballs.
Okay, well,
I
Bass
use eyeball magic.
definitely saw you doing that and like was really impressed just by like, oh, Iggy, I can tell you. Iggy, wow, it's going on.
Well, like she just looks up and she like, the show hasn't even started yet, hun. And then she says, she looks at the
mate.
She looks at the last place that she believes the spider might be.
Sure.
And she looks over and she says, Circulus Luminous. And she casts Ring of Light, kind of casting a light in the area to try and maybe skitter it out of its location.
Alrighty. I'm not going to make you roll for just doing a light spell. I don't think that can go so terribly wrong for now.
You blind yourself. Ah!
No!
As the rune kind of carves itself glowing in the air and you flush that magic forward and it begins to shine in the room. The whole place becomes almost blindingly bright for a second and it dims to a more manageable kind of glowing white light around the room. As you glance under the kind of various furniture where it's skittered, you can see very well illuminated where the floor meets the wall under the furniture and it doesn't seem to be anywhere present.
Okay.
I take my finger and just kind of wave it in the air, and the light dissipates.
Oh, crocky.
Like I said,
Little bugger got away.
you can't be underestimating these little bugs. They'll always get you if you do.
Sil, have you seen it? Is it over by you?
Still takes a very low effort look.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, sorry, I don't see anything.
Can you taste
It's
it
gone,
in the
Bess.
air? With your ear magic?
Oh wait, yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me just
I knew that they knew because
I
I
don't know
could
if you had a
see
shower
them.
recently.
Weird. No.
I'm joking, don't worry.
Not for like a week.
We kind of just disinfect ourselves with the heat.
Yeah, we just stand real close to the fire, mate.
It's not bad.
How do you do it? You just let the air touch it.
Oh, just strong winds.
Just air yourself out.
Is that what that
It's the
smell
blow
was?
dry. Not the washing, it's just the blow dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got smelted on the way in too, I thought. That's what I thought.
Honestly, I just didn't want to be rude.
Yeah, well, we're not very rude. There's a great deal of decorum here.
I guess as just like a quick thing, because I think I have some experience with agriculture. I don't know if that will even help. And I have Soldier of the Garden. Do I have any knowledge of this plant? Like, if I know it can just like, if it like teleports a little bit, if it can go invisible, any of that kind of stuff.
This, I think, is going to be another rolling thing. So
Rolling
we're
time.
gonna boof these dice off of the board. I'm
We
gonna
need
roll.
rolling music.
We need. Oh, I think this is going to be slightly harder to recall information about this kind of magical plant. So I'm actually going to make this. I'm going to say a 1d6, 1d8 challenge, which is kind of between like easy and challenging. Okay, so I rolled shitty, so it's going to be easy for you. So I rolled a 4. So you can go ahead and pick from those areas of attributes, values, distinctions, specialties.
Looking at my attributes, it will probably be intellect to try and remember something, which is only a d6.
Okay.
As always, intellect is my lowest stat.
Of course.
Priorities.
Values? I'm not sure if there is a value that really applies
That's okay.
to just
That's fine.
remembering something.
Maybe if you're really good at it, it might be mastery.
Truth, maybe?
Mastery or truth, I think either of those work. Both of them are a d6 as well.
Cool.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Truth is in like I'm trying to figure out what this creature actually is.
Yeah.
And the abilities
Yeah,
that it
I like
has. And then I do also have the specialty of agriculture, which would be a third d6.
Go for it.
So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I have 3d6, which means although you roll bad, I could definitely just like...
Still failable.
It's still failable. I think this is right if I do this. But, oh, now we're good.
Oh, hell yeah. I think that means some stuff.
Yeah.
That's a
You can
12
choose-
with a 3 effect.
That means you get a really good effect.
Hell yeah.
You get
so,
to step up your effect die by
Yes.
every 5 points over what you did.
So the DC or the DV, the value you're aiming for was 4, and you achieved a 12. So that's 5. That's more than 5 more. It's not more than 10 more. So your effect die would go from a D6 to a D8. I'm going to interpret that to mean you succeeded, and a little bit better than a D6 would tell me that you've succeeded. I
Yeah.
think.
Scale from 1 to 5.
Yeah. So as you think about this strangely conjured creature, for a start, this Earthblood mage has conjured this creature from the wooden boards of this room. It was created as a representation. So as far as the creature that skittered off through this room, you're fairly certain that that's probably a different, that creature is not the same as whatever you might find outside. However, as far as the creature that's outside, yeah, you think in your various studies of your perusing through long tomes of agriculture and exotic plants and things, plants that can move and plants that are carnivorous and ambush predators, yeah, that seems pretty legit. And from your knowledge, you are aware that they can get pretty damn big.
Okay. Do I get an idea of how, why it isn't around? Is it just the magic wore off from the Earthblood Elf kind of thing?
Yeah, you could guess any number of reasons why this conjured one. Either the magic wore off and it just vanished, or this smaller one found a small exit that you haven't spotted, or something like that.
All right, so let's be that. In all honesty, it's probably just the magic wore off.
Did.
Could be. Depends on how weak of a mage the elf is.
Oh, I mean, it's also possible that they were just they just turned it off. You know, like you did with your little light thing.
Could be either.
Bass puts her sword away I was really looking forward to slicing that.
Don't you worry, love. There'll be plenty to slice out there in the forest. I'm sure.
Oh, Syl, you better hope. This is my holiday. I brought my best sharpening rock.
I'm glad to see you're so excited.
Not even the middle best, the best.
And Syl just finds whatever bed is nearby, just kicks up, lays back, and just starts sleeping or starts resting.
Alrighty.
Thanks, we'll just continue to read now.
Perfect.
Hey. Is everybody asleep? Is anybody up?
Bess,
Sorry,
go
I'm
to bed.
sleeping.
We've got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just... I just thought I heard the spider. Phil!
Yeah.
You sure it's
Just
dead? You sure it's dead?
Just straight back asleep. Immediately just zonked out.
Bess, I killed it earlier. You're fine.
Well, I guess I'll just wait. Just watch the wall. Bass will retire to her cot and just rustle for the next conceivable couple of, maybe a half hour.
We'll wake up and find Baz just staring at the wall, eyes completely unblinking for 6 hours.
I was looking for it. I watched over all of it.
Red and cracked at the edges,
Yeah. Oh yeah, ready to go.
We'll come back here eventually.
I'll have stayed up a little bit and then used my hand as a nightlight to kind of light the book for a little bit and then eventually just go to bed.
Nice.
Perfect.
And I'm
But-
here looking.
Baz, as you stare intently at this side of the wall, your sister is there reading, the kind of flickering orange firelight from their fingertips illuminating the room in this dim haze. You do catch the very faintest pieces of movement. A flittering.
I knew it.
tiny little fireflies that just make their ways in through the cracks under the doors and begin to float and orbit drifting around that piece of fire magic emitting from your sister's fingers. They begin to glow brighter as they get closer to the flame, like moths around a light, kind of just sending this very slight, beautiful ambience through the room.
Without even like looking up from her book, she just like moves her eyes towards her hand and then just shakes her head and continues to read.
Occasionally, like a mundane moth comes in as well and like flits around the room. But aside from that, you do not catch any sign of any other dubious or arcane creatures snooping on your rest. And eventually, you all come to consciousness. A ray of soft, whitish grey light sneaking through the cracks under the door, beckoning morning. You hear a of the large beast outside, or Darius's mount, as you can hear him tending to it, feeding it outside.
I'll walk over to like Bass, who is probably still like deep at sleep, and I just kick her in the side. Wake up, Bass.
Wah! Did you find it?
It's time to go. Get your stuff.
We're gonna
Wait.
be halfway across the continent, and Bass is gonna be like, "Did you find it?" Is it here?
Welcome to Tales of Xadia, where we chase the bug across the continent.
I mean,
Only to find that the real journey was the friend that
The real bug was inside us all along. Oh no.
the real bug was in the house where we left it in the shoe.
you all put on your shoes, and they are all strange flower spiderless.
Okay.
Fortunately enough, there's only just a regular scorpion in there instead. But it's
bugger!
it's easy to shake out. But you're doing the whole Australian thing. These they know what's up.
I watched a video about never put your foot in a shoe
Yeah,
until
you
you
shouldn't.
tested it.
I was like visiting family in Texas. Like you go to the bathroom, there's a scorpion in the toilet.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
it's horrifying.
Well, that'll get you off the toilet
But as you guys
forever.
get your packs on and your various clothing adorned, your pieces of armor, your beautiful headdresses, your nicely cleaned and sharpened weapons in their sheaths, and you step out, you see a beautiful sight. Down behind where you came, you can see how the hills fade off and roll into kind of valleys interrupted sharply by quick kind of jutting areas of rock, which scatter this almost like rolling jungle interrupted by like stabbing shards of grey stone that kind of interrupt the landscape. And they continue to do so above you and beyond, and you can see what rises very sharply into very dense jungle and mountain. Sweeping dark stony cliffs threatened with shadows and looming pale light as the sun begins to crest ever so faintly above the verdant horizon. Good, you're all awake. Are you all ready? You have stretches out. Well rested. Don't forget to stretch. It's a long walk.
Scylla's already stretching.
Iggy rolls her eyes.
You're gonna get a cramp later on. Right.
They're not kidding.
Limbering up is very important. Have stretching out and all that, like hops on one foot, like pulls up their heel to their booty. Like,
Iggy will like half-heartedly like place her arm across her chest for a second.
this is what we need. This is preparation for
Piss up.
preparation for hostile environments is utterly crucial.
The only muscle I need to stretch is my mind.
Well,
You stretched that one enough. Come on, Iggy.
Couldn't
we
tell,
shall see
Bass.
if it's enough. For now, our journey awaits. And they have sweeping, now adorned with a cloak of darkish brown, and you can see have feathered across it almost a like wide, like glimmering leaves across it that seem to kind of like glisten and change color as the light hits them differently, partially green and then red and orange and blooms of autumn in a second, and then back to green. They sweep it across themselves and mount this large kind of furry maned beast that they've been riding. All right. let's go. And he on the reins, and this large beast begins to along this kind of overgrown path. So,
just a quick clarification: is this like just a solo map for them, and then us three are walking?
oh
Was
yeah,
wondering
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Alright, cool.
Cool.
Oh,
Cool.
right.
Just want to make sure. I didn't know if we were like just doing like a train situation on the back of this mount.
No, no, it's not. Like it's large and very muscular, though in terms of its dimensions, it's not far different from like a regular horse.
Okay.
Though it's ever so slightly wider, and in a creature that is that tall, like a couple more inches of width adds to its like volume and mass quite significantly, and you can hear that weight in each footfall as it across the
Alright,
ground.
cool.
So, as you all begin heading up this path, there is a good like half an hour or so where the effort rapidly changes. It begins relatively easy, though a little steep, and you find yourselves having to zigzag up steep hills, clinging onto the trees and shrubs and bushes that try to grasp onto the steep rock that form up these mountains. You pass elements of flora that begin to get more and more fantastical with each passing 10, 20, 30 minutes. You see a small rock that you try and place your foot against to climb, kind of, and like small centipede-like legs along its base kind of uproot it, and it begins to down and further away, perturbed at being stepped on. The two of you, the sun elves of Baz and Iggy, you notice a familiar plant. Thin, kind of pale, almost birch-like trees with leaves of bright orange. And as you get closer, you see them begin to brighten. And with proximity, the leaves begin to shine, and you feel the heat radiating from them, and you can see almost around them, the jungle recoils away from these singular specimens.
Do they seem out of place?
Not entirely. They are native to your home, though they're not exclusive to it. Though they do seem to carve out something of a space where one of these trees is the kind of that floor, the flora around it seems to kind of leave something of a radius.
Like the ferns?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the ferns and the mosses leave something of a radius around them, as the heat seems to be a little bit too much for some of them, and too much for the other elves in the party. As you two very, very comfortable with the warmth, Syl and also Orderius,
John,
you
I think
feel
I'm
that-
gonna need a drink after this one. It's bloody sweating my eyes out.
Oh,
Indeed.
Seal,
Because
what
we
you
gotta
got
hydrate
there,
from
mate?
Tal.
Beautiful, but dangerous. I know slightly more comfortable for the two of you, but still worth keeping a weather out and a radius from these.
Oh, it's not dangerous. Bass is gonna get really close to it and kind of like,
It is hot. It is like magically enhanced, super hot. It's like for a second you think like, okay, no, this is pretty comfortable as you get within like 5 or so feet of it, and as you take like another step in, like, oh yeah, it's so nice and hot. It's like someone opened an oven in front of your face and you get hit by a blast of hot air.
If anybody goes to like stop her or like say, hey, wait, Iggy will like stick her staff out to like block him, and she says, no, just let her.
oh, Iggy, just lock it home.
Advantage for Taylor.
Ooh.
I don't know. Okay, what I'm going to say is what that means in this is, Taylor, you're going to get a plot point. So you have your tokens on the side. We'll get to what plot points mean a little bit later on when they become relevant, but they are essentially a resource that players and narrators have to bolster the chances of success in various moments. And I'll remind and prompt if their use is relevant at some point.
Plot points are awesome, FYI.
Yes.
PP.
they are.
More plot points, please.
Add another token to your PP.
A PP for tea.
At the beat.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, Monday vibes.
Taylor, Baz, as you get this close to this flaming tree, I'm just gonna need. What should we go for? I'm gonna actually ask you to roll something.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to.
To see if my makeup melts off.
little bit, yeah, something along those lines.
If that mascara seals my eyes shut,
Exactly.
that's a real thing. If you get too close to an oven, watch out, people.
Oh, Rish.
Or like eyelash glue melting down to the bottom.
Zing! Yeah.
So I'm actually going to roll for the tree.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm gonna roll for the tree.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll for the tree.
That's
I'm
where
gonna-
we've gotten.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the tree is going to roll 2 of those.
Shit, you can't
gonna roll
enjoy
2d8.
anything these days.
Dang! 2d8.
Ooh.
So because I've only rolled 2 die, the effect die, I'm gonna roll a d4 on top of
Alright,
that.
cool,
The effect die is effectively a 4, but the total is an 11. Could you roll for me? Let's have a little look. What
Yeah.
might be appropriate? I think I
Let's
have the
see.
character that you're using. Let's go for something like spirit or strength. Your choice. Values don't really come into this. I think definitely Sunfire Elf.
What am I trying to do? Am I trying to pull back?
You're essentially trying to resist this.
Oh,
Whatever
spirit.
magic is within this tree, forcing you back and damaging you.
Let's feel the spirit, people.
You can also suggest others if you'd like. If you'd like to be like, I'd like to dart away quickly. You can argue agility.
I just imagine Iggy at this point is just staring intently, just waiting for her to burn herself and learn her lesson.
Sel is also watching, but from a much further distance back.
Oh yeah. You and Odaris are like 20 or so feet from the nearest one of these trees. It's uncomfortably warm. Give it some space. But Baz,
Taylor.
what are we gonna roll for you?
Taylor, hello?
Taylor?
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Back.
Sister! Oh shit, she burned up. She done burned up. She's gone.
You know what? I think the tree might have won.
She's disconnected.
And Ash, she did.
That to mean that she's died. And we're gonna have to move on. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, straight to Ash. That tree rolled really high.
It did. Yeah. They're dangerous trees.
Oh no, Bess.
She's just like, you know what? Now I'm just not gonna bother fighting it. I accept that I
she
lost.
She was so young.
I do like in this system how like the actor does the roll first, and so this tree, having some element of magical sentience, is woofed back first, and now Taylor has the choice of choosing what elements of her character sheet she wants to use to combat this.
Yeah. I also
so-
like that you can also just choose to not roll
Yeah.
against it. which I really
Yeah,
like.
exactly. You could be like, I want to get burned in the face.
Like, if someone rolls insanely high, you could just be like,
All right.
Nah.
I'm head out.
Nah.
Good.
Aces.
Ugh.
How's she doing? Do we get
Trying to figure out where my cursor disappeared. Okay, we're just dealing with a couple little techie. Okay, so Taylor can hear us. We can't hear you.
Oh no.
Yeah, restart the thingy.
Do the thing. Maybe Control R on Discord.
Turn something off and back on. It usually works.
Always.
As a professional IT support, try turning it off and then on again. I'm not professional IT support, but I do believe that works.
Probably.
Give us our Sun Knight back. We're still using her.
Yeah.
Can I maybe attempt to try and save her so that while she's fixing things we can roll, or shall we wait?
I think give it just fractionally longer. Fixing we have calls.
So what actually happened is Syl slammed their spear into the ground, and it has temporarily stopped all of the air in the world, and therefore stopped time.
Okay, that's how that works.
That's how time works.
The other thing is, this does also stop time for Syl, so they don't
Yes.
know that you've ever done it at any point.
When you accidentally cast permanent time stop.
Permanent stuff.
It just stops
Everything's
for
fine,
an indeterminate amount of time. It eventually comes back, and then everything just carries on as normal. And because no one knew that it happened, no one has ever had a recorded instance of it happening except for the gods above. And they're just like, oh, Earth stopped again. I guess we'll wait another 20 years.
Sounds about right.
Sometimes that's all you can do is just wait.
Yeah.
Now, as a point of rules, if you do want to intervene with someone else's check, I believe I'm understanding this right, is you can spend a plot point to create an asset. Creating an asset can either be something physical, like you grab a branch and use it as a weapon, or just you have the high ground, and so you use a plot point to establish that as a mechanical advantage. You can also do that for other people. If you throw a pebble at someone's back, you can say that that's you spending a plot point to create an asset of distraction for your friend, and they can add another die to their dice pool. And so when Taylor does get back, Dan, if you'd like to spend a plot point to create an asset of the protective sister.
Well, I would like to ask a question. Since my assets are magic, may I create a magical asset?
You certainly may. And try and do something other to like reduce the heat or grab them backward. And that will add another die to Basalt's dice pool, giving them a stronger chance at rolling higher and succeeding. And not being burned out by a tree.
Yeah.
In terms of story, Iggy will.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
What up?
Welcome.
We can't see you yet, though.
Wow, what a shame for you guys.
That is a shame. Always.
Yeah.
There we go.
There she is.
Wow, the internet really didn't want that to happen.
Well,
but you know what? It's gonna happen anyway.
We waited, and now you can get burned. So, how much of us talking did you hear, Taylor?
I actually heard probably everything but the last minute.
Okay,
So I think we're explaining how rolls worked for that.
Yeah.
But-
So, do you have what die you're going to roll for this challenge, this contest, I guess?
Oh, real quick.
I'm
Thank
back.
you to Shiny Steve
So-
for subscribing.
Oh hell yeah! Thank you
That's
so much.
wonderful. Thank you very much.
Oh my god.
Hey, shiny.
So I'm definitely rolling one spirit.
Okay, so you got spirit.
And I don't think I have a value for this unless it's devotion because I'm remembering my home. I love my people as much as a warrior can.
Well, you have to have one of them. Like it's required to have
have
those
to.
3 dice.
Okay.
So it's probably devotion.
Okay, then let's roll some
I
devotion.
think it's required to have
Which-
at least 2 dice, isn't it?
Yes. At
it's-
least. Well, I think you can actually roll 1, but if you fail, then you're in a lot of trouble.
True.
So
Let's add devotion in there.
yeah, devotion is an 8 for me, so that's
Cool.
1d8.
And then
and-
you've also got your Sunfire Elf one.
Ooh, okay, heat being. So I can add 1d8 angry stress. Oh,
So that's not so much relevant to this. It's more that like your Sunfire Elf, you are a Sunfire Elf, and that helps you in this because it's you resisting heat, and so you can add a D8 to your dice pool.
So I've got 2 d8s and 1 d10, and I don't
Okay.
think I need anything else. I think everything else is irrelevant.
So that's your dice pool. Iggy,
Let's
do
do
you
it.
want to spend a plot point to add another asset to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I give her a
Hell yeah.
D6 as I draw some. I roll my eyes because, of course, she's being, her normal
alien.
best self. And as she goes to reach for the tree, and I'm waving everybody off, I roll my eyes and I cast a symbol in the air and I say, Aspero.
Ooh.
And I blow wind in her
Hell yeah.
direction.
So add another D6 to your dice pool, and then
Alright.
roll away.
Okay, cool. So that d6 was a 1, which means I guess it gets kicked.
Yes, you can choose to kick that as well.
Oh, come now, best.
Oh boy.
Okay,
I
so
feel like that D6 being a 1 is probably because isn't Aspero a sky spell?
Aspero is
Well,
a
yes.
is a
Is it-
spell spell.
It
It
can
is
do
a sky
anything.
spell.
It can do anything.
Look, it's temporary, all right? I'm still learning. That's why I got the book.
Nah,
That's
it
why you got
already
the book.
knows. I've
That's why they
seen
got
it.
the book.
I've seen her do it.
Fair.
There's a
Still
rule in
really.
Hidden Web for if your effect die is higher, because you failed, but your effect die is definitely higher.
It steps it down by 1, I think.
Yeah.
You step it down by 1. Yeah.
So
Wait,
now
okay.
it's
real quick, could you not just swap that, like 5 and that 10?
Yes, you
I
could.
could.
You would have the same effect die, but then you would also beat
And
the
then I
score.
wouldn't.
I think we've
You know
been
what?
through this before.
Perfect. So yeah, keeping note of which die of which type you're moving around is definitely a new thing to us D&D plebs. But you can absolutely do that. So with a 3 and a 10, that's a 13. That is higher than the tree roll, and so you successfully resist and don't take any stress as you like take a step back as that kind of hot flush of air seemed to massively increase as you got closer to this fire tree.
Off tree.
Yeah. I appreciate these are maybe within your purview as Sunfire Elves, but maybe I don't know. Let's just if it looks dangerous, maybe we leave it alone.
But like you have to say, I am at least a little bit curious what would have happened if she touched it.
Nothing good. Nothing.
Like,
Definitely
look,
nothing good.
All right, I know it's probably nothing good, but it doesn't mean that's not nothing interesting.
Hey. Sail is telling the truth. Nope. That's not the right point.
Iggy will pick up like a piece of like broken wood or something like next to her and toss it towards the tree.
As the wood gets within that 5-foot range of the actual tree itself, you can see that like in the leaves around it as that hot flush of air rears up again, and this branch that you throw into flames, and it like bounces off the tree trunk and lands in the ground nearby, and it's just like.
Look at it.
Maybe you take a wide berth here.
Maybe, but look at it.
It crackles seductively.
I mean, Scylla's definitely already like an extra 10 meters away from the tree than you two are. Just because it's real hot.
Is there any way else around this tree to the path we need to go?
There is, yes. There are a number of these trees, and there is absolutely an element of picking your way through, of trying to like get around this. It's kind of like you're solving this maze of moving around between them, but they're not like they don't dominate this section of forest. There are other trees and patches of cooler space that you can absolutely move through, and as you get beyond
I'd like to lead if necessary to be able to resist the heat.
Absolutely, perfect. I'm gonna say, do we do another roll there? I don't know how, because in different systems, like you roll with different frequencies.
It could be like a challenge to kind of navigate the maze of trees.
Depends if you want to make the pathfinding a challenge or not. Like, is it challenging enough to require a roll?
I think
Eternal question.
I think at this stage, no. These trees are not clumped together so much that finding a path through them is not it's not super difficult. So as you know, it takes a little bit of time, but it's not like you just fail. So by doing this, you take the time to move around these fire trees, and you get to a section where they begin to kind of fall behind you as you continue your hard ascent. You can feel the burning in your thighs, this time from muscle pain, not from fire. As you are pushing and striving your way up, you can see the large mount that Odarius is riding is like picking its way through. It's making occasionally like as it's like pushing and striving and pulling its way up these steep inclines.
Oh, they're tired. Okay.
Poor beastie, you're doing so well.
How much further on there is?
Well, in my various research and readings, the Kinvra that we so seek often finds its way to the tops of these cliffs, these large kind of jagged mountains and hills that rise above the jungles. Annoying.
It's got to be the top.
I know. I asked the same thing. It's why Sweet Beastie here is going to be rewarded by so many treats when we get back
Honestly,
down.
I tell you what, after climbing up there, I need another drink. Because we've got to hydrate.
Right, hydration is so very important.
Oh, I hope I brought enough fire water for all of us.
How did I miss out on that? I should have brought me some fire water.
Don't worry, Iggy, I got a lot here. That's all that's in my pack.
Okay, just only fire water, got it?
Yeah.
Well,
See, I just drink air water myself. Just get really humid air, you know, and just... It's lovely.
I go to the oxygen bar.
we're over here sipping on fire, and I
Remember
look
that was a
over.
thing? Like, oxygen bars are a thing. Like,
Wait,
No,
are they?
it was, and it still
Yeah.
is
What?
somewhere.
oxygen
Yeah.
bars, yeah, they're like they're like cafes. They usually have like coffee and shit as well. But like, you go in, you put on a little disposable mask, and they just put like
They give,
100%.
they give you the they give you like
Yeah.
the little medical nose things.
Yeah. Like they market it as like it like centers your concentration and it's good for you and shit. As if humans evolved to do that rather than what we fucking breathe already. Yeah, it's stupid.
Hey, don't knock the good stuff.
Oh, that's some good air you got right there. Ugh.
We open up a new can of fresh air.
So we're sipping on magma over here, and I look over at Syl, and I'm like, he's fucking weird, huh?
It just looks like an
Ow.
empty. It just looks like an empty bottle. Just
Dingus.
so they're very careful. Anytime as soon as their lips leave the bottle, they like cover it up with their thumb. They bring the cap up and they like swab things very quickly to make sure none of it gets out.
I mean, look, I like them, but I mean, they're right drongo. You know what I mean?
You know I can hear you, right?
Perfection.
No, I don't think they're talking to us, mate.
As you guys say this, and are having this kind of slight back and forth of the definite weirdness of the Skywing elf that accompanies you, a echoes down from above.
Apparently they found it funny too.
This strange laughter seems.
I immediately kind of go like into a defensive stance, like I kind of put my hand back in like preparation for a spell.
You immediately, as you do so, and the rest of you notice that Iggy is taking this defensive stance as a reactionary. You notice, or Darius is in similar. Their staff is up and raised, a slight yellow glow emanating from it. Echoes down very, very faintly from above.
Do we see any? Is there anything that we see, or is it just audio?
For the first few moments, it is just audio, and it's faint. You hear a very faint rustling through the trees and the boughs that ascend above you, a canopy of verdant green as the sunlight rising from morning sends these kind of rays of light green across this darkened space.
Oh, Darius, what is it?
I don't know. Sounds... I'm not sure. Wait. He raises up his staff, and you can see a very faint kind of the yellow glow increases, and you see some distance away, maybe 50, 60 feet in the dense canopy, hiding a large, roughly like, similar size to you, which for a monkey is large, humanoid-ish shape, crouching obscured in the branches. And you hear from it, confirming that this is the origin.
That's happening too.
You hear a rustling of the branch as this figure leaps from one branch to another and is still slightly obscured.
Oh, is that what you're looking for, Darius?
No. I think... Stand firm. Closer together. And then the beast is on kind of... like, sidesteps and kind of comes closer to all of you.
Circle up.
I mean, they're probably only looking for a friend.
Get
Oh,
in the circle.
It wants some fire water, don't it, mate? Come on down then.
Yeah.
There's another of leaves that are sent rustling as this creature, this figure, jumps from one branch, leaps, and they extend to their full height, maybe slightly taller than you, Baz. They leap, they grasp a branch and swing, looping their back in an arch as they propel themselves and land on a bough that is more exposed to the rest of you. Oh. And you see, straddling this branch, full Tarzan pose, an elf. An earthblood elf, dark olive skin, mud-like paint scraped across their body, clothing in the barest rags, hair in a tangled mess. You see the front panel of a skull, like a mask, across the front of their face, with dark red something staining their chin. Their antlers themselves the antlers themselves stretch up wide, one half broken at the tip, the other also stained red with small like strings of viscera tied between the prongs. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. They put their headphones back on.
Hold on a second. Did their antlers just fall off for a second there?
They grasp their half.
Oh boy, what a poser!
It's a poser Earthblood elf.
What a poser!
Not
What a bloody poser!
I tell you what, I've heard about these poser Earthblood elves. They have something about tree puns that they always do, so be careful.
Hell of an entrance, mate. Come on down then.
Tree puns may be the least of our worries.
You can see that their long, kind of jagged, broken nails like extend far beyond their 3 fingers, and like almost dig into the soft bark of the bough that they stand on. Not
So
yet.
many questions,
Not
man.
yet. And the other hands like begin drumming on it as they begin to like sidestep and bounce. Not yet.
We're just here. We're just passing through.
Egg.
We'll see you soon. And it
What, Bess? What?
spins, and its legs elongate as it jumps, returning along the same path it came and begins leaping away, swinging through the boughs as it begins to leave.
Now that was no bug.
So you know I mentioned the insects that bite you and
you
drive
did.
you
You did.
insane. You see Darius is shaking slightly. I fear whatever poor elf that was fell victim to this. And he like puts a hand on his chest and is breathing deeply as he seems to have been slightly panicked by the arrival of this strange, clearly insane earthblood elf.
I must ask you, do you know who that was?
No. Someone did. Someone's child is not returning home as they once were. If at
Are
all.
they irreparable?
I hope not. My knowledge of these insects is rudimentary at best. My skills lie in earth and magic, not in the intricacies of biology.
I mean, you'd have to think that if there's a plant that can make him insane, there's got to be a plant that could also make him not insane as well, right?
I still can fix it. We just catch him.
And if you just like, I don't know, give him a little bonk on your head, that might fix it.
Well, if they get in bonking range, then please don't hesitate next time. But for now, don't
Nope.
forget our task.
Noted.
Our task is the Kinvra. I fear that perhaps these adult elves may be the threat that is posing this magical creature I so wish to protect. But for now, we strive onwards.
Also, real quick, thank you, Wilbur, for the 100 bits. That's very
Thank
lovely.
you.
You're wonderful.
Well, that's not such a cutie. Thank you so much for the bits, Willow. I'm breathless from being scared, and also the manic laughter. So scary.
Oh, but I mean, if you need a little bit of breath, I've got some by here. Pulls out the bottle.
If you're offering, I'll indulge. And he kind of raises a furry eyebrow and takes the bottle, like eyeing you, tries to replicate what he saw you do.
Still
Very
got
fresh.
plenty of air with them in their bag, and you need it. If you need an extra breath of air, just rip it up.
Do you know what?
Well,
I'll tell you what, this is a lot more useful when you're high up on those mountains.
I was going to say, genuinely, that seems rather useful. And he hands it back.
Thank you.
Well, I hope the rest of you aren't too shaken. And he kind of reaches into his pack and pulls out a small, like, wrapped in cloth piece of honeycomb and just as a snack.
I'll kind of like, I'll look at him and I'll say, you know, for this being your hunting ground and your lands here, you seem to be awful scared of the things that you should be quite knowledgeable about.
One can study dangerous creatures to the nth degree, which I have not. I'm a mage. I have studied the intricacies of primal earthen magic and how to wield it to create beautiful things.
You keep saying that.
As he does so, he swings and draws a large glowing rune of kind of a darkish amber in the air. And as he does so, a section of the trees, the boughs and the branches twist and meld and shift in shape and begin to like plant themselves into the ground as a section of roots pull themselves away into large, almost legs, and the tree itself stands like wood creaking as it leans down, and almost like a branch bows and it ducks into a deep bow. As you see, primal magic is where my talents lie.
Bloody hell.
As such as you wield fire, but as much as you can weave flames to your will. Should a magma titan come and swing its fist towards you, should you assume dominance because of your mastery of the primal art of flame?
Tied that tree back up earlier. Well, that's a hard yakka. Hell, I had to fight that tree earlier.
You see, our inner
Lights could've
flame
backed
doesn't
it up.
just. Our inner flame doesn't just come from our outward appearance and abilities. It also comes from our steadiness of hand and ability to act upon a situation in an instant.
A lifetime of fighting trees, mate.
Well, then you'll have to forgive your assumptions. Preconceptions to my kin and kith is unfortunate, but I'm afraid to see with me is what you get. I admit, I am fearful of the dangerous things that populate this land. This is why I beckoned you to accompany me, to assist me, to protect this nature as I alone cannot. And I thank you for doing so. And your confidence, I hope, is well-founded, as there is much more to come, and whoever that is, I doubt they're alone. And he looks off into the distance with a worried expression. But the day is not as long as I should wish. Let us press on. Come. And the large beast begins to plod forward once more, its large muscular legs pushing against the rising incline.
Now that this has happened, I'd like to keep like a wary eye out while we're walking.
Good to know.
Now that it's more dangerous.
Just a little bit, you know, in case another Tarzan shows up. I'm just gonna curiously throw a question out to the room.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon he meant by not yet?
Oh, that probably means later. Typically what people mean by that.
Seal. Breathe some of your air.
I mean, come on, you can't expect to ask a question like that and then not get an answer like mine.
What's not yet? What's coming?
Going off a guess of the all the red and a bit of the viscera, probably nothing good.
He's right. Wherever mysterious red substance and viscera come from can't be good.
I mean, it could just be a really thick berry. Don't get me wrong, but they're quite rare around these parts, so I don't expect it.
Let's assume it's the worst, and if they, you know, if we get there and he's like, ha ha ha, hello, please, imbibe my berry juice, and there's a giant bush with big red berries, then maybe then we, make...
Best even then, don't.
Oh no, don't have those berries, you'll have the shits for a week.
I just, when you said it, I just thought maybe there was one. Just felt a little wave of excitement.
Do you see what you've done now?
Yes, you do. Do you see what you've done?
I see I've made a terrible mistake.
Well,
No,
Can we press on?
please. And he keeps, like, trying to push forward. You make some decent progress, and it is hard, and it is sweaty and humid and hot. You are glad for the ability to wield the air around you somewhat still to cool off slightly, as it is warm, and as the sun crests from morning toward midday, it gets hotter. You begin having to take small breaks as your legs and lungs beg you to slow down. But betwixt these breaks, onwards you rise. You see all manner of beautiful majestic and fantastical creatures, the more and more the further up you go. You see a massive, for a moment, your wary eyes searching for humanoid figures alert you to the presence of one. But they're extremely familiar. Identical, almost, to yourselves. And as you take a moment to analyze what your eyes doth see, they see what looks a massive leafy plant the size of palm leaves with a surface like glass. Darkish green, posing your reflections almost to be figures in shadows. But as you get closer, you see massive bush-like plants with these gigantic glossy leaves with reflections dancing across them. You see a small movement out of the corner of one eye. There's a small branch. As you glance towards it, you see, biting at the shrubbery and biting at the foliage, you see what looks to be a large tortoise. Its shell made of solid amber, with elements of dark wood and bark, accenting kind of the points at the various kind of hexagonal elements of its shell. It kind of and it like looks up towards you with its like kind of slightly watery, beady eyes.
Yes! Yes!
Can I get a replay of that? Thank you.
Did anybody out there GIF that or GIF? Audio GIF.
and moves off to find shrubs away from its disturbance. Pushing on further, you find a slight respite from the incline. It seems to shallow out somewhat, and your legs appreciate the break. And you find your way to what appears to be a small stream. A thin couple kind of brooks that descend from the higher peaks seem to meet and form almost a pond before it descends into a slightly descends into a trickling fall underneath the undergrowth. Looks like we're heading towards afternoon. Should we pause here, perhaps? Take a break? I know for at least Beastie could probably use it.
Fine by me.
Alright. Well, luckily we haven't seen that creepy, insane elf recently, so it's a good sign.
Keep
Not yet.
your eyes peeled while we rest.
Nice, see what you did there, quoting him back to us. Nice, sharp. This is why I'm so glad to have all of you along. Yeah, drink deep. He kind of dismounts off of the large, kind of bearded beast that immediately kind of sidles up to the pond and like considers drinking, then decides not to for a minute.
Seal,
Yeah, what do you want? What is it?
there anything edible around here?
Oh, let me have a quick look around. And I'm gonna have a quick look around.
You know what? Go for it. Let's roll some dice.
Feeling a
Alrighty.
bit peckish.
This I don't think is going to be too difficult for you, being your naturey self, but your die are there to account for that. And I think this is a mixed difficulty place. I'm going to go for a D4 and a D6. And again, I roll low, so that's a difficulty thing of 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna delete the
Okay.
vote.
I'll probably use
I almost pressed the forbidden clear button.
I think God it gives you a warning.
Yeah.
gives her a warning, but also we do have a backup one set up just in case that
Backup
happens.
Hell yeah.
So we're good. Alright, so let's see. I think awareness is probably the attribute I'll use. Would you say there's my out of the values? There's either I'm thinking either mastery because of
Yeah.
the extensive knowledge of things, or possibly devotion because of the time spent towards.
Your choice. I'm happy with either.
Well, I'm gonna go with devotion because that's a D10.
Go for it.
Yes. Find them berries.
Look, I'm really
Let's
hungry,
see.
right?
And then specialty for agriculture.
Hell yeah. Go for it.
So that'll
See if you
be
can find a Macca's around here,
awareness,
mate.
devotion.
Oh, no, you
agriculture.
didn't.
That'll be
No, oh my
a
God,
D8,
no.
a D10, and a D6.
Had to
Hell
fit
yeah.
it in. Had to fit it in.
So we got 1d6, 1d8, 1d10,
So it's a little cheeky
Submit.
Macca's.
a 3, a 5,
Hell yeah.
a 5. Oh,
So I guess the 3 and the D6 5 to your selected, and the
So it'll be
Considering
the-
one of
the
those
two
dice
fives.
beats out the rest of the
Yeah.
roll.
hell yeah.
so D6
Yes!
and a D8 for the selected dice, and the effect dice will be a D10.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
A 10, nice.
As you are kind of picking your way through the shrubbery around this small, almost oasis in this hillside, you can see eventually the large beastie begins to drink, and you see around this shore there are mosses and small, like, flowering plants, the flowers of which you know to be actually fairly nutritious and tasty. You find actually kind of maybe 60 feet away from this, but quite tall, and so it catches your eye, what looks to be a large fruiting tree with a massive, like, bunches of bananas. But let's say that they're dark, like they're like a hot pink because they're fancy bananas.
Oh, yes.
You also pick out, I'll say, with that, because of your D10 effect die, you succeed pretty well. And so what I'm going to say that means is you also see Ordarius.
Oh, I just realized, because I succeeded by more than 5, that also means it steps up.
Oh,
so it's
that's
actually a
right.
D12.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest of successes. You notice Ordarius begins picking through the various plants as well. And you see him, like, picking through, and you know him to be interested in conservationism and magical creatures, and you see him picking through these plants, and you see him, like, picking up the occasional, like, caterpillar. And there's, like, a small, like, frog that's, like, picking across the ground. He, like, picks it up and is like, beautiful. Puts it down again.
I've heard tell about those. I'd be careful with that caterpillar.
Thank you so much for your warning.
I've heard tell. I've heard
Food.
some tell about those.
Thank you so much. He goes back to, like,
Just
picking
gotta
up
watch out for the purple ones, yeah?
Yeah. Don't let it get in your ear.
ones. This seems like a meta thing related to a story completely separate to our own. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. I'm just talking to my ass.
I read it in a forum.
The forum is just like
I
a
think
sheet of paper that's up in the town on a wall somewhere, and people
Yes.
just write stuff on it randomly.
It's just like a rune.
I think Bess is partaking in the mushrooms she found along the way.
Well, I've been picking up a couple of things because I'm really worried about our longevity out here after we met our friends, so I've been really putting it away. I realized that I packed too much firewater. I didn't pack any food, and I just felt really bad about it.
Well, tell you what, don't worry about that. There's plenty of food around here. I'll go around and grab some for you now.
You
Go around,
can
get
get,
some of
like,
those plants, use the spear, and just like take down some of the apples from the tree.
Hell yeah. Your berries and your fancy bananas. You notice Ordarius, like, gathers a small, like, section of leaves and stuff you might guess for, like, arcane components, or, like, different leaves and plants and berries and shit, which he kind of, like, puts away into his little, like, he presses them into a small book.
Aw.
Clears those away. You can see, like, as he closes it, it's like a small, like, light brown leather journal with, like, a couple of little kind of leather cord ties, which he kind of, like, ties up at the end. It's almost like it's got an embossing of like a W embossed across the front. Like,
How quaint.
and he pops that away. Is there anything else you guys would like to do as you rest in this small little clearing and chow down on some nice tropical fruits?
Just sit back, leaning against a tree, munching on some nice fruits, and just looking out at the scenery, and just having that time to sit back and take it in.
Having that time.
You know?
How far away are we from the turtle?
The turtle is maybe like just a minute walk back.
Just pure question.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes behind you.
Okay, never mind.
That's like, I'll be back in an hour.
I've got a secondary mission.
This is what like derails the campaign already. Just
Yeah, sure.
We're good. I'm just gonna like kind of look off to see if I can see anything cool.
Yeah. As you do so, you notice kind of on like a small lily pad on this little kind of pond that has formed as these kind of little crooks begin to meet. There is a slight wobble, and then like a little like webbed hand goes, and the head of a bright blue frog with like just eyes, like a head covered in eyes,
I love
like
it.
This little mouth comes above the water and like itself onto this lily pad, and you can see like across its back it has like glowing green like bumps all across its back, and you can see it like waddles itself around, like looks into the water, and one of the green like lumps goes flash, and like a bunch of flies just around, like buzzing around the area, all go woo, toward it, and it just like turns around and opens its mouth. and just continues to chill out on this lily pad for a bit.
As Bass is like staring at this or whatever, I'll just take my staff and like very abruptly like pound it on the ground next to her and say, "Hi, you done with your childlike wonderment?"
Oh, look at this frog.
That's a no.
That's a no.
Oh, so mean.
Now fancy that, eating the nets right off your neck on a hawk like this. It's a hell of an accessory, mate.
As you say that, the frog like looks at you.
Seal!
Yeah, what? Hi. Hello. Sorry, I was looking at a frog.
Have a get at this frog.
It like leaps off onto like the side of the pond towards you.
What do you make of that?
That's a little cutie, it is. Hello.
We're turning into the crocodile hunter.
Scylla's just like,
Now see here.
I'm gonna grab his tail.
now,
This
just
here frog is a beaut.
just before I go out to try and give it like a little chin stroke or something, do I know if it's like poisonous or like bad
I'm really
for
glad
me?
that you asked that, because I was kind of wondering like if you were gonna just touch it, and I was like, okay, but we know it's bright blue,
Yeah.
and the rule is.
If it's bright, don't touch it.
I'm gonna say, your nature sense, and from your role earlier about like local flora, I'll say that transfers a bit across into fauna because of the heroic success stuff. I'll say you're sure that you probably shouldn't be eating it, but to just touch it, it's probably fine.
Sick. The only question in my mind was, can I pet that frog?
The frog answers it for you when it goes like into your hand.
Yes, I'm giving a little chin
It's in
scritches.
Still's hand.
Little bud. Bass,
Like-
come here. Iggy, do you want to come as well? Go on, just give it a
Iggy,
little,
come on.
just a little under the chin right here. They love
Iggy,
it.
pet the frog, Iggy.
Iggy just stares blankly at them for a few seconds and then turns around and walks the other way.
Iggy,
Oh.
you're not gonna have fun unless you let yourself have fun. Come on.
Iggy. Pet the frog.
Did we forget about the crazy elf that just baited us like an
Well,
hour
they,
ago?
They didn't
Oh.
pet the frog, and you seen what happened.
Exactly. I mean, they're not here right now. When you've got fast enough reflexes, you'll manage.
I'll watch while you pet the frog.
She kind of stumbles on over and just kind of like looks very like begrudged, and just stares directly at the frog, like
Oh, yeah.
as if staring into the frog soul. What's so special about it?
Well, look at it.
It's a little cutie.
Yep,
Did you see it
Got
eat those flies?
got more eyes
Do you
than
know what?
the whole lot of us.
I reckon that this
well-
frog, it has a hell of a combat awareness to it. You
Oh,
could probably
now.
learn a few things if you give it a little pet.
If we were like that frog, we might not have gotten not yetted by our,
Yeah.
by our cheeky little tree friends.
Still's gonna like slowly reach out and try and like gingerly pull your hand towards giving it like a little pet. It's like, come on now.
Iggy will give up halfway through, like resisting, and then finally just like let him pull the hand closer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Just like that.
yeah. Just a cheeky little pet. Oh,
The
that's
frog seems pleased.
Yeah. Also, posture check and hydrate from.
I was gonna say, I'm doing a bit, Meg. I can't posture check now.
Slimy.
Can't posture check right now. I'm doing cool frog stuff. God.
good on ya. Good on you, mate. Look at you go, Ig. petting the frog if Mum could see us now.
You don't say nothing. You hear this, Bess?
It then leaps onto your shoulder, Iggy.
Ah!
Like,
Can I freak out?
Yeah.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
Iggy, that's a familiar.
I'm absolutely. I like throw my staff in the air and I start to like run in circles, like patting myself on the head and like, is it in my hair? Is it in the hair?
Iggy, it's fine. It's just on your shoulder, mate.
Oh no, I think it's gone into your ear.
Oh, it's just like trying to cling on. But then it, like, after a couple of seconds, it goes like, oh, and like falls off and like into a little bush.
I won't even pay attention or notice that it falls off. I'll just like run behind a bush and like dive in and start rolling around trying to get it off.
Perfect.
Nah, you're clear. You're clear. There's
Someone's
no
gonna take
frogs.
Someone's gonna take
As
out
you're
the
in the
bush.
bush, it
It's
like
jetted.
and like onto let's say Syl's shoulder. It merges and like goes onto your shoulder instead.
I pop up from the bush.
Scritch.
I'll pop up from the bush, have like twigs and like leaves in my hair, and just look disheveled. I hope you're happy.
Yes,
Ow.
very much so.
It looks like the frog is coming with us.
I'll just stomp towards my staff, pick it up off the ground, and just kind of like brush myself off and just start pulling the twigs and stuff out of my hair.
Perfect. The frog like stays on your shoulder, Syl, and you notice after a couple of minutes, like after the commotion dies down and like Ordarius is like beginning to kind of finish up taking the different samples of like bugs and leaves and berries and things. And it's like had a good drink and stuff. They another little kind of green light goes on its back, and some more flies that were already kind of around you. It means it turns around and like a little like AA turret goes and just like nabs the flies out of the area.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah.
Well,
This is it.
seems you have a.
You're gonna get rid of this slimy thing, yeah?
Oh, it's seals now.
I can't. He was the one who brought you along. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm joking. All right. You're wonderful, really.
Seems you have a way with the animals. Perfect. And needed. Well, I apologize, I suppose, that rest maybe wasn't so peaceful for all of you, but shall we continue our journey?
She picks another twig out of her hair. She says, "Can we go now?"
Alrighty then.
Perfect.
So we'll like take the frog off of their shoulder and let it go back to this river nearby because they don't want to put it in any danger. They want some mean Earthblood elf assassin to take it out in the middle of the night.
Okay.
That's extremely mature of you.
It very willingly slips back under the water and like clambers its way, kind of comes onto another lily pad, and it just sits there like.
I can't
Egg
promise
sees
I
this and she
would've done
shivers.
that.
It has a cheeky grin on its face.
I have to say, like, I kind of did just want to take it with us,
I know.
but also I'm playing someone who knows and respects nature enough to not just take something out of its ecosystem and be like, it's mine now.
You
This
are a
frog
pet. You
belongs
like
to
me?
It's mine.
Bug repellent.
Squishy.
Bug repellent. Pa.
You just have one on each shoulder, flies.
It's a shoulder
Flies
upgrade.
within a 10-foot radius just get...
Bug turret.
Yeah. It happily slips back under, and Ordarius actually takes the kind of the leather reins from the large beast that they've been riding and ties them very long and loose, but to a nearby tree. It's going to get a little bit steep from here on in, I think, or a little bit narrow at least, and so I'm not going to bring a little beastie here. It'll be all right, okay?
Steeper already.
Yes, but we're making good progress. This has been a productive morning. It may not look like too far, and he like glances down the hill, and you can still see where you've come from. You can still see like the small clearing lower down where those huts were, but trekking up hills and through jungles is slow going. And given that, you made some decent progress. Right. Onwards and upwards. And they turn and begin to walk further up the hill.
Let's carry on then.
Perfect. In which case,
I'll actually take the rear at this point
okay,
of the like marching order, if you will.
alrighty. As you guys continue up, it does get steeper. It's becoming now almost like you're going up a set of stairs, and at times it's difficult. And I'm actually going to need all of you to roll against a climbing challenge, as it is now wet. It is not currently raining, but this is still a jungle. It is wet here pretty much all constantly, and you are climbing up through scraggles of roots and bush and tree and rock amongst that loose, wet undergrowth. And so I'm going to need you guys to put the other dice pool to climb up this hill.
Moist rocks, my favorite.
Moist
Back to the
rock.
dice roller.
Indeed.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So things like strength, perhaps spirit.
I'll delete my dice now.
So this is all right. That's gonna be probably 1 strength, 1. I don't know.
But we're thinking that we can use spirit for this.
I'll say so, sure. Your strength of spirit as you grit your teeth and push your way forward.
I mean, it does take a great deal of emotional labor to get up a mountain, so
It does, it really does.
you really do.
I don't know what
So I'm thinking-
glory.
I think I'm making glory as like, you know, we're getting up there so that we can continue on and complete our mission.
It could be glory, it could be devotion to your goal, to protecting nature, it could be mastery of, I'm good at everything, why should I not be good at this?
Tell you what, I'll take devotion. I'll take
Sure.
devotion.
I might also take a devotion because
I'll take glory.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds on brand.
Sure.
Alright, I'll do a strength and devotion.
I'm gonna
Is there any
roll-
way for me to use my spear to help me climb as I kind of like stick it in and use it to help me bring myself up?
Yeah, I think so.
Sick. That's another D8 for me then.
Go ahead and add a d8 to that as well. I'm gonna roll additionally for Darius?
I might include fickle luck because I am really not super trained at this, but I haven't fallen off yet.
Sure.
Alrighty.
And I
I'm
think
gonna-
that's it.
I'm gonna change my D8 to a D4 in order to gain 1 PP. For simplicity is the best solution.
Get that popcorn.
PP!
Nice.
PP time!
Perfect.
Boy, they should have named that something else.
Yeah, it's
Darius is like
Sorry.
wields their staff, and as they climb, they are going to spend a point and actually give all of you an additional d6 as they begin to weave the roots into slightly more solid steps.
Oh, nice. I'll wait until you two finish your rolls and then I'll do mine so it doesn't like get
Yeah.
confusing.
You didn't like that big mess that we just made?
Go! Everybody at once.
You do have an extra D6 by the way.
I love a bottleneck. Oh, an extra d6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Add a potential d6 to your pool to choose from. Yeah, go you, buddy.
Put it back?
Oh damn. Dude just
Shit.
popping off.
Sometimes
Alright,
they pop somewhere else.
Let me do my roll. Oof.
It's this is a cool tool. It can get a little bit jittery when multiple people are trying to change stuff at once.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, found that.
I'll wait for a
discovery.
moment. We all good?
I'm
So
done.
Baz, you've got your
For
you've
this
still-
moment.
you've got 3 die in
Yeah.
your select. You can only select 2.
I'll select those 2 and I'm gonna put this D10. Oh wait, no, this is a 1, so that is a hitch.
A hitch? What does that even mean?
I have a 1 as
So in
well.
that case, I'll put the effect die by there.
Okay, so if it's a 1, remove it completely and count
It's
0.
It's very
Does-
shameful.
Does the 1 count if it's from assistance that someone else gave you?
Still no. Hold
Cool.
on. Hitches. The narrator may hand over a plot point to activate one. They can create an asset for an NPC to go against you, or they can step up a die in a challenge pool if there is one. Okay, so I need to make a note that I have hitches on the two of you,
Alright.
and I can use that.
I will leave this one next to my plot points, just so like it's there.
Cool. Okay. 4 bears, 1 for Syl.
Otherwise, got 13.
Nice. Okay, so I think with that, it's not a super hard one because I can't roll dice. So the
Not a super hard one.
To be fair, you say that you got like one under the.
That's a
average.
pretty good roll.
I mean, no, so the narrator roll there is for Ordarius.
Oh, okay.
Target.
Okay, nailed that shit.
Yeah. The
That's
target
what I was talking about.
from those top right.
Let me get this away from me then.
So that's a 12, that's a 9 and a 13 and a 12. So yeah, you guys are all fine. None of you take any stress as you move and continue to push your way up this hill. Congrats, everyone.
Hell yeah.
And you continue to climb. It is sweaty, it is hot, it is hard. Your legs are burning. But as Ordarius begins to weave and you can see different roots begin to shift and take up space and provide these roots, they kind of flourish through, and you notice like almost a blooming of like darkish red purple leaves precede them, like flourish, bloom, and then thicken into steps that you begin to climb up on to make it that little bit easier. Continuing up, you get to a small section which you can see there's like a path has been carved through the jungle, not by people necessarily, but by like it's a creature path.
Okay.
It's large. It appears to be from a creature that is larger than a horse. And as you like cross this path, it does kind of lead up in the like one. It goes down mountain away from where you're going, and also up in the direction you're roughly taking. Not entirely certain what made this, but some expediency could be afforded if we follow its tracks. What do you think? Follow and potentially encounter its maker, or press on?
I mean, what are the odds that it goes back on its tracks?
Is the best solution.
Oh, I have an animal training specialty, which seems extremely random, and probably cannot be used for what I'm about to ask.
You ask away.
But because I apparently train animals, is it possible that I could observe like this pathway and see if I can like observe a track that might tell me what varietal of animal this is? Like if it's like a hoof or a a paw, so that I could at least see maybe if it's more of a like omnivorous or carnivorous.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just delete all the dice on the thing. Clear that space out.
Bess, come over here. I heard you train animals.
Well, I mean, that's what they say, but I think the animal's been training me.
Okay.
That would explain a lot.
Okay, so I've rolled the difficulty of
Oh,
If you wanna
Ray's
go
in a
ahead-
bit of a bind.
If you want to go ahead and make a roll, put together a little pool of what you think is going to be
Okay,
going to be useful there for you.
so I don't know, intellect or awareness? Maybe awareness.
Probably awareness.
Yeah. Okay, so that means that's 1d6 everyone, and then maybe mastery, which is an 8.
Nice.
So we're gonna do one of those.
That's good.
And how about some fickle luck?
Ooh.
Because
Alright.
we may get hurt, but we're ready.
Fair enough.
And animal training is another 6, so
There you go.
that's 2d6. And let's do this thing. Submit. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Nice.
So good.
That's a good roll.
I guess we do train animals. So
Now I remember I have a dragon.
yeah, that old thing.
So
you know.
you're gonna go ahead and discard one of those selected die, because you only have 2 selected die for a.
Right.
So you probably want to get rid of one of those 4s and ignore that.
Yeah. You also probably want to use the 10 for the selected die instead of the 5, because they're both
So?
d10s either way.
Yeah.
So just for clarity, I think for stream as well, the way that this works with the effect die is that the number on the die doesn't actually matter. The only
Yeah.
thing that matters is
Right.
what size the dice itself is. So if it's like a D8, it doesn't matter what you've rolled on that. It's just that is how effective you are. It's like roughly middle of the scale.
Yeah. And because you've shuffled that way around, the DC was 7, and you have positioned that such that your total is 15, so you've beaten it by more than 5, and that's a heroic success. And so we consider the effect die 1 higher, which would be from a D6 to a D8. So you've succeeded, and we're considering it as a D8 effect die. And so
Just one more thing real quick. You could just swap that 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
still have
you get a
14.
D10 success.
And then it's a mass.
And then it'd be a D10 success, and that would still be stepped up by 1 because you beat it by 5.
Indeed.
So then it's maximum
Yeah.
success.
This is like a power gamer's like dream. This is like, how can I mix and match these to be the best possible?
Yeah, if you're
result?
like a power logic gamer, having all these different dice to be like, all right, what is the optimal strategy I can pull out of these?
Yep.
Indeed. So, as you, Baz, begin to consider this trail, and you look for tracks, you look for signs of what might have made them, you begin to see and notice areas of cracked branch, of tracks within the mud and undergrowth. And you notice it looks to be very well trodden. So whatever has made it probably uses this track over and over again. You notice that the branches are broken up to maybe about 6 feet high. So whatever this thing is up to 6 feet tall. You also notice, and I'll say because of your big heroic success, D12 effect die, big bonusy nonsense, you actually see on an area of a broken branch, you can see a section of like old dead scales have been like scraped off by the branch. And you also see like in the tracks, you see large like claw marks. They are like 3-fingered like talon like claws that have like through this place and have like scratched and dug their claws deep into the dirt as they've moved through this space.
This has actually become a crocodile hunter moment.
It's
All right,
sick.
everybody. Now see here in the dirt. See that pronged foot? Yes, well, it's looking a bit reptilian, and this is some skin here hanging from a branch, and I mean, you can tell from the just general height of the thing. Well, this is a biggin. A beaut, but a biggin. And I mean, now we could follow it. Yeah, we could follow down this path. It obviously travels this path every day, I suppose, to get to the water hole. Or like the shops, you know, every reptilian has got to pick up some cabbages for its family. But now is that what we're looking to do?
Honestly, I prefer not to have to deal with that thing. If that's alright with the rest of you.
I look over
Better safe than sorry
look
kind of
over-
thing.
to Ardarius and I ask if we were to take this, how much time would we save?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well, we are looking to reach the top, the highest sections, so that we can look for this Kinvra. Exactly, I love that song.
What is going on?
Now, expediency is important. As far as I'm aware, there's only one Kinvra that remains in these forests. I don't know what has been diminishing their number, nor when whatever that thing is will strike again. Now, I don't know how high up this path goes, and so we might follow it, and it only buys us a short time, which is a downside. However, it means we're only on this path for a short time, and so perhaps we don't come across whatever made it. Or we just keep pushing on and forward. To be honest, I don't believe I'm nearly as physically fit as either of the two of you in regards to Syl and Baz, but I don't want to ask the three of you to directly put yourselves in the way of harm by potentially following these tracks, unless you are comfortable doing so.
Iggy will like look at the rest of the group and of course wait for any kind of decision. If you guys don't give like a hard decision, like we're going this way, Iggy will just turn towards the path and she'll just start walking up the path.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
can fucking roast a lizard. It looks like it's just to be one.
Still just kind of looks at that spear. It's just like, well, I don't carry this around for no reason. Right.
Let's have it. Let's have a bit of a shortcut, yeah.
They'll
All
probably
right.
be fine.
I like move a branch out of my face and say, "Come on, Odd, keep up."
I would appreciate retaining to Darius, but he does follow, kind of putting the branch out as it catches on with his antlers. Really wishing Beastie could have come this high, though. Anyway, following up this path further, it is much easier going. You occasionally find the ground itself is somewhat chewed up and softer, and that bit kind of sticks to your feet a little bit, but not having to clamber and push your way through the jungle saves a good chunk of time. And it winds up quite far. It pulls its way up and around. You can see where it has actually torn down large trees and pushed them down, where it seems to like go back on itself and zigzag its way up. And it has almost carved some of these trees into being into a shape of where it can rapidly like up and around like tight corners. And as you like pass your way up, clambering over these logs and pushing up this path, you hear before you see the sound of something large moving from beneath.
I'm gonna have Bass like immediately like panickingly kind of move my arm forward and Bass,
Iggy, what is it?
get up to the front.
What is it then? What do you see? Is it the lizard?
I don't know. I heard a sound.
Ah, shit! I hear it.
As you guys hear this incoming sound of a potentially large creature, what are you guys doing?
I can hide.
I hide. I'm trying to see it.
I will let Bass try to see it while I will hide with Syl.
Yeah, just like you keep an eye out, right?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I mean I'm literally like grabbing Bass and just like throwing her up front and then.
I would like to roll a try to see it.
You don't have to, because just
Oh jeez, that's never
There
good
it
either.
is.
as Ig jumps to the side, Ordaris also kind of doesn't quite hide, but steps off of the central like thoroughfare of this carved out path. You see the creature as you see it barreling around the bend of this carved out track. You can see one of the trees already bent over. It gets and the leaves all shake and rustle as it is like shoved and shaken once more. And sprinting around this corner, one set of legs, and another, and another,
Oh.
and another, as a massive reptilian lizard-like body with 8 sets of legs comes like reaching its way down.
Boy.
Eight legs or 8 sets of legs?
Eight large muscular legs.
Okay.
Okay.
Total. Comes careening around, dark black scales glinting in the kind of afternoon sunlight. Its neck rears up and splits into 2 serpent-like heads with thick hoods that, as it sees you, rear up. As it comes... Now, if this
You
was...
got this, Bass.
I'd say roll initiative, but it's not, and it is 8:30, and so
It is.
this we are going to dive away for our break. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and I hope you guys are enjoying Tales of Xadia. We will be back in half an hour, so get some water, go eat some food, take care of yourselves, and be back here at 9 p.m. BST, where we will pick up with whatever the hell this thing is, and however these nutfucks want to deal with it. We'll see you guys soon. See you guys.
It'll be fine.
It's been nice
we'll
knowing you,
manage.
sister.
Oh hell!
It's coming. Deal with it. Whoosh.
We should have brought that frog with us.
Alrighty. Let us know
Alright.
when we're out, John.
Yes. All right. We'll see you all soon. Bye bye. Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Tales of Xadia, this mini arc Monday here on Chasing Tales. Now, just a few moments ago, we left off here for our halfway break. Welcome back for the second half, where we left off our intrepid band of adventurers assisting this Earthblood mage.
Before anything else, they hydrated.
Oh, goodness me, fine.
Fuck your introduction! Hydrate!
You should just come to expect it by now.
Yeah, Tal is definitely crazy. He will never stop.
Tal is a force of hydration to be reckoned with.
Never
and we
stop
love it.
hydrating.
A force of hydration. First,
We might die.
I like it.
Yeah. So, where we left off, our band of adventurers accompanying the Earthblood mage Ordarius on a mission to find and protect, to conserve this very, very rare magical creature known as a Kinvra. They have ascended through the mountainous jungles, fending themselves off from strange magical plants, from delving into the strange local wildlife, and encountering a strange, unhinged Earthblood elf that skittered through the canopy, coated in blood, mud, with a skull face mask, laughing, and then flee through the trees. They continued their ascent, eventually choosing to take what could potentially be a shortcut, a well-worn animal track from some large beast that has seemed to come across them. Sprinting and barreling up the hill across its well-worn track, you now find yourselves as Iggy and Syln and Ordarius all step to one side, ducking low beside the edge of this path. Baz, as you stand in the middle, sword drawn, you see charging towards you this massive, 8-legged long lizard with 2 split necks with serpent-like heads. As it hisses and growls, you see the size of this creature's breath almost vibrates all the way through its chest into the ground around you. As it sprints up, those of you that are ducking off the side, you are off to the sides of this path. Baz, what would you like to do?
Alright. What is the distance between me and the beast?
Rapidly getting smaller.
Right, it's moving. Okay, that's totally cool.
It's trucking. There's no like initiative order 6 second by 6 second. Like if you want to wait until like it gets within range or throw something at it or charge towards it, it's all up to you.
Oh? I mean, I know that we just talked about my really cool animal training background, which seems like it might be inappropriate right now.
No, man, throw it a stick, see if you fetch it.
Posture check while we're at it.
I mean, like, this is a
tame
creature.
it.
It's a creature charging at you. You can hide, you can scare it off, you can do whatever you want.
Listen, you know what? As an animal trainer, I've probably broken a wild beast in the past. And, what if I tried to, like, intimidate it into a stop?
You could certainly try.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
try it.
Bess, you're broken, and the other types of broken is different.
Yeah, but just look at it, egg. Look at it.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to roll some dice. Let's go going down your character sheet and choosing out what of your attributes, which of your values are going to apply to this. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that I'm gonna use spirit.
Okay.
Because this is, at this point, not a physical action, really. This is like more kind of like, I'm trying to upset it. Intimidation, you know? So spirit, I guess that's their spirit. And then I'm gonna go with probably, it's either devotion or mastery. Both are an 8, so it's kind of like, it doesn't matter.
Go for it. Sure.
An amalgamation of the two. Wow. And it numerically makes no difference, so that's for y'all.
One of those.
That's a free gift. And let's see, distinctions. I guess I could also call upon fickle luck right now.
Could do.
Could do, because I should probably have some luck. That would help.
It would be.
And of course, I'm gonna go with animal training as my specialty.
Okay.
We've never used a plot point.
So earlier on, Iggy did to.
Okay, yeah, right.
You can use one yourself to add another d6 to your pool, or
Probably gonna skip it because these stats are pretty good.
Okay, then go for it.
Let's see. So
You'll
that's
go first because you're trying to do the thing.
1d10, 1d8, no, 2d8s, and what is that tiny little number? A d6. And I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. 3 rolls. That's not right.
4 rolls.
Which one am I missing? I've got a 10. Bear with us while we experience
You got
this
a D10,
technical
a D8,
moment.
probably another D8 and then a D6.
Nah, you're right. I just blatantly didn't read what I wrote. So we're actually good. We've got 4. Let's send them into the magical ether.
Go for it.
And
Oh,
it's not the worst.
Those are some good rolls.
It's not the worst, you guys. Let's drag them down to the.
Using 2 of those to be your selected and 1 size to be your effect die.
Okay, I'm probably.
I will say you rolled a D12 and 2 D10s there. Is that?
Yeah. Nope. You're right. That
Yep.
D12 should have never happened.
I think it's because of the website. It's really confusing.
Yeah, now which box goes to where?
I always thought it was the one on the left. It turns out it's the one on the right that indicates
So,
it.
It is-
me.
Yeah, the box is on the left. That's a D12 again.
Why am I doing this? This is.
Why am I the way I am?
Yeah.
What is happening to me?
Who am I? Why am I this way? The universe is like, what the hell?
There it is.
Okay. So
Alright.
then I.
D10. Didn't you have a D8 in there?
Yeah, these
2
are
D8s. Oh,
Guys,
the
what-
Those are all
10s are
D10s.
supposed to be 8s.
all. Yeah.
The 10s were supposed to be. The 2D10 is supposed to be 2D8.
Okay.
How many of these need to die? Okay. Okay, now we're good. This is really confusing.
Are we good? Are we good?
No.
Maybe we're good. Let's wait. We'll see how the roll goes first. All right, these are D8s. These are D8s.
All right,
right.
we're good.
There we go.
Everyone-
Damn, those are good rolls.
And that's a hell of a roll too.
Yeah.
We are gonna be okay.
That's almost the
I think.
maximum roll, dude.
I think we might make it.
You are 2 off the
after
max roll.
all.
You do. So you have, so you're gonna choose 2 in your selected die and put 1 to the effect die. You're aiming for the maximum total, but you'd like a large die size on your effect die.
God damn.
All right, I'm gonna try to do it like this.
Okay. So we're gonna discard that 6, so your total is going to be 15. Your effect die is a D10.
Cool.
So, Lizard
All
is
right, guys.
able to not be intimidated by you. And I don't have a full 2-headed snake, 8-leg lizard stat block on me. So I'm going to make some guesses. I'm going to think it's going to use its spirit, which I don't think is as good as yours. So I'm going to say that's going to be a D8. So I'm going to put 1 D8 in there. I'm going to say,
Scared.
as being a wild beast, liberty is going to be, and like freedom is going to be really important to it. And so it's this massive predator. And so I'm going to give it a D10 against that. And I'm going to say, is that it? Is those 2 it? No, I'm going to activate your hitch. So you have earlier on, you rolled a 1. I'm going to use that and
I did.
add a D6 to this creature's die pool, and that's going to get rid of your hitch. So earlier on, in one of these dice pools, Taylor rolled a 1. I store that. I am now using that to add another die to my NPC when they are countering Baz. And so they're going to roll that.
If I'm correct, does that mean that Baz also gets a plot point?
I believe so. I'm going to double check real quick.
PP time.
Yeah, so you get a
Time.
the narrator
Oh, no.
went over to you to activate one or more of your hitches. They can create a temporary D6 asset for one of their narrator characters involved, or can step up a die in the challenge pool. So I have done that to create an asset for them. That's what this D6 is. And so I have got a 4, a 6, and an 8. I don't think I can beat your roll.
No, you can get 1 under.
Yeah. So they're going to go for the equal effect die, so yours stays the same.
I'll ride this thing to the summit, y'all.
Yeah, because if you got a
Damn.
so if their effect die was lower than yours would go up by 1 in terms of dealing with this thing. So it's going to make sure it put the 4 there. So you rolled a 15. This thing has rolled a 14, which means you succeed, but barely. I'm going to say what this means is it's going to take a D4 stress to afraid.
To be fair, isn't the impact of how well you succeeded determined by your effect dice? Isn't that like the point of the effect dice in this?
the selected die
Like selected
in
die
turn
just
really
if
doesn't
you
have
succeed
anything
or
to do with
not.
anything.
That's just like a binary
Right.
do you succeed or not, and then the effect die is how well do you actually succeed.
So there's no thing of like if they're the same, because there's one of like if your effect die is higher than
I think-
theirs, step something up.
How it works is if the loser's effect die is higher than the winner's, then the winner's effect die gets stepped down by 1. But
Okay,
if they are equal or higher, then nothing happens and it stays how it is.
Hell yeah,
That
alright.
makes
In that case, this is like a D10 stress to afraid. That means it needs a little bit more to that. It needs to get to 12 and then be pushed higher, and then it's out. It's like out of the scene. So the way stress is tracked both for NCs, for narrator characters, and for player characters is people have stress. These are counted in afraid, angry, corrupted, exhausted, injured, and insecure. And in the same way that your effect die is counted, ignore the number, it's just by the dice size. It goes through a d4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. You take stress, according to this effect die that we're talking about. If you are pushed above that 12, you are like out for the scene. That might mean that you are not unconscious, that you run away, that you freak out and just storm off. Yeah, so with that, Baz, as you like yell out with your sword there, with your like flaming skin and your gold everywhere, this massive creature with its 2 huge serpentine heads staggers up close. It skids dirt and pieces of like leaves and twigs and branch are like sent flying out towards you as you put your hand up. It rears up one of its heads. You can see its eyes go wide, and its like fangs kind of bare, and it hisses. The tongue lashes out as it rears up and backwards. The second head is still leaning down towards you. As it is rearing back, those of you that have ducked off to the sides, Iggy, Syl, and Ordarius, is there anything that you guys would like to do in this moment?
Well, this is your sister, so I'll give you the
I mean,
first action if you so want. If you so please.
sure. Yeah, I mean, this thing is, I think I specifically told Aldarius that if anything charges at us, I'm not going to stay my hand. So as soon as I see that Bass has it under control, basically by saying has it under control, has its attention, I will pop out from the bush that I jumped in, and wave my hand in the air and say Fulmin Ignim, and cast Bolt of Fire
Hell yes.
at the creature.
So you're doing the thing first. I believe you need to make a roll, which will include your fire magic, your sun magery.
So I'm guessing intellect.
Sure.
We'll say mastery.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sunfire Elf, Hothead Sun Mage. Probably Hothead Sun Mage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sun Magic, and Asset Sun Magic Spell.
Oh,
Ooh.
you're
All of
So
a
that's
bunch of dice here.
that is 4d8 and 1d6.
Hell.
Let's see how it goes.
And submit.
Oh.
Oh, that is
Wait,
unfortunate.
not yes.
Ugh.
Some low rolls, but some decent totals.
There is a hitch in there as well.
Yeah, let's see you later. Bye.
Uh,
Oh boy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
store that then.
Oh man. I felt really cool too.
Isn't that the way? Like the better.
Oh man. All right. Let's do this thing. We'll just say 6, 5, and then we'll do the T10 effect die. So 11, and then attempt to get a decent success.
In that
And
case,
say-
the creature had, I think I said like a D8 and a D10, and I gave it another D6. This is now you like attacking its like thick hide and stuff, which I think is slightly different to like its like shouting at it. I think it's a bit better at physical stuff than it is at mental stuff, and so I'm going to give it I have like a D6 because of its thick hide. I'm going to call that like an asset of its like armor-ish. I rolled pretty garbage as well. What could that be? That could be a highest roll could be an 8.
Well, that just happened.
That's also a hitch.
It's a hitch for me. Which how does that mean?
It means that you cannot use it as an effect die, which means that the effect die in this case would be a D4.
D4. Yep.
So like if there's no other die, it just assumes the die is the minimum it can be, which is a 4.
Correct.
Delete that. Get out of there. So as you succeed, and its effect die is low, does that step up your success? Does that step up that die? I think?
That just your effect die stays the same.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jordan. In which case, if you reach out, you draw this rune in the air, you speak those incantations, and the burst of flame arcs through the air and strikes into the hive. This creature rears up. There's a horrible hissing roar from its large guttural throat. I'm not going to do it because Meg's doing curry stuff, so I'm going to hold on.
As if Meg isn't used to that. Like,
Here is a great point. The bolt streaks into its hide, and there's a horrible as the flames rip into the skin, into the hide and flesh and sinew. And
That makes me want curry even more.
It's going to get D10 right into injured, because that's, a fucking hard hit.
Hell yeah.
You can see like that, like it's got really thick skin, and your flames have like grabbed it, pulled away the skin, and like still burning, and you can see the embers of the flesh turning to charcoal within. With that,
I would normally like jump back into the bushes, but because I saw like it did what I thought it would do, I just kind of like slammed my staff into the ground underneath me and yell out, "Now's the time, Bess!"
Syl and Ordarius have yet to act. Syl, what are you up to?
Syl will quite calmly come out of the bush, sort of using their staff almost as a walking stick. And then in one swift motion, just like kicks forward the bottom, spins it around, goes into just a hell of a fucking twirling routine towards this beast, the one head that's still rearing down. And it's gonna go for like a strike up to either injure it or just like scare it with this pointy stick.
Okay. If you succeed, I'll let you decide whether you want to scare or injure.
Yes.
But now, go ahead and assemble a die pool.
Alright, so I think strength, probably, because it's swinging a big stick.
Yeah.
I think glory.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, literally,
Enough 12s in there for sure to be glory.
like the tagline under this is, "Although fighting is often unpleasant, my legacy demands it."
Hell yes.
Like,
Sure.
I feel like
I
that's the
think
thing.
so.
Faux show.
So there's also Soldier of the Garden or Never Back Down. One of these could probably apply, because this is very specifically a fighting thing.
Yeah, probably more Soldier of the Garden.
Okay, Soldier of the Garden. So we've
I
got
like how that sounds.
Strength, Glory, Soldier of the Garden, Spear Fighting, and Duranian Spear.
Oh,
So that is
Oh wow.
1d10.
An asset specialty?
Yep.
Very nice.
So specialty is Spear Fighting, and then asset. Well, in this case, it would be Skyrim Spear actually, because I forgot. I basically took a Duranian character sheet from the primer and just switched it to be a Sky Elf
Perfect.
because
as you do.
it's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's going to be 1d10 from Strength, and then 1, 2, 3, 4d8.
We stand.
1d10 and 4d8.
Oof, that's a whole bunch of dice.
So it's the one to the left. I'm going to remember that.
As we've learned, the number of dice does not matter.
Number of dice doesn't necessarily matter. No,
So hard to understand, but
completely
it's
screw
true.
up. But let's find out.
That's why I haven't
roll.
been spending PPs.
Oh!
I'm like,
Now that's
Okay.
well,
You gotta work your
sometimes
PPs
it do
just right.
matter.
That's two
Sometimes it do
hitches.
matter.
right there.
Oh god.
So they immediately just bop over to here.
Yes, they are.
I now have 3 hitches.
Still, there are 3 secret moments that will happen to you that will cause pain.
Oh boy. Now I say I play this safe. It literally doesn't matter how I organize these. So I'm gonna put the 8 and the 6 into my selected die. So that'll be a total of 14. And then my effect die will be a d8.
Alrighty.
Come on, Sil.
In that case, The creature, as I think I said before, has a D6 for its armor, D8 for wild beast, D10 for I forget what it was. It was something about
it's like that was its loyalty freedom thing.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So I've gone for a D6, a D8, and a D10 for those aspects.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you a plot point, Sil.
Yay!
And I'm gonna activate all 3 to give it another.
Yay! So as a result of this, all of my hitches go away, but I only get 1 plot point because you're using all 3 for the same thing.
Exactly.
I rolled 2 hitches myself.
Oh boy!
So that is gonna
Oh my
de-roll
God.
the effect die twice. I think is that right?
So those
Hitches
2d1s,
don't matter for you.
They just
in this.
like they basically get taken out of the pool.
Okay.
Lest we get to hurt the dragon in the future.
Oh
Yeah.
man. In that case,
There is
that
actually, I think there is a thing that we can do if a creature gets a hitch. It's an opportunity for us, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
and does that mean like you can hold on?
Activate opportunities. When the narrator rolls an opportunity, which is the same as a player rolling a hitch, you can spend a plot point to activate it if the roll is opposing you.
Interesting.
When you do this, the narrator assigns it to their personal supply of plot points, so the narrator gets a plot point back.
Yeah.
I can do one of 2 things: either step down one of my stress dice, or I can step up an existing asset. So I think that is something which happens while the roll is happening.
Okay, so if you want, you could give me a plot point, use this hitch, and like your spear is like a D8.
Yeah.
You could step up that asset to now be a D10 from now on.
And it goes. Yeah, it would be
All right.
until the asset goes away or the scene ends.
Okay, so for now.
Do you spend 2 to get it for the rest of the game?
No, that's to do with creating a temporary asset,
Yeah.
and that would make it last for the rest of the session. I will not do that. I will leave it as is.
Okay. In which case, as you swing your spear up in this flurry of twirls and you strike upwards, so you achieve this as its roll was lower than yours, its total
Yes.
is lower, and your effect die is. Are you going to go for a frighten it or an injure it?
I feel like it's gonna be a frighten,
Okay.
and it's effectively the case of this twirling spear comes through, and as they bring it back around, like they bring the spear and it stops just like directly in front of its face,
A threat.
Okay.
and then you see Syl just like dig their feet into the ground, and they are just firm in that stance.
Alrighty. As you spin your spear in a twirling motion around, and it rears that second head up. One head is already clearly afraid. The second one hissing down angrily towards you and Baz. It rears up as this blade right beside it, and its eyes gonna go wide as the golden end of your double-pronged spear glints in that afternoon sun right past it. And it rears up as well, and it skitters its large claws digging into the ground, and it backs up with a... and it's backing up. And it's backing up, and as I think with that, that would step up its stress dice to a D12, and it is on the edge. Any more afraid stress, and that will level it beyond a 12, and it'll be like scared away and gone. But Audreus and the creature have yet to act,
Yes.
and I think it's mean to assume it has the lowest initiative, and so I'm gonna let the creature go and do a thing.
Okay.
Fair of you.
In which case, I'm going to say.
That it cries.
It lets forth 4 tears from its both heads.
From its bulbous eyes.
I'm gonna say that it has 2 heads. One of them's gonna try and bite Baz. One of them is going to try and bite Syl. I'll make 1 roll for this. The 2 of you will roll to resist this, and then
All right.
so like I'm rolling 1 attack, you're rolling 2 defenses to see, so on and so forth. Rather than me rolling 2
Yeah.
short ones. So it's going to do that whole thing of a D8, a D10, and a D6 for those like the whole like fighty stuff, predatory, big beast. I feel like if I had a character sheet for this thing, it would come to something similar. I've seen most things look something like that, and I feel like this is relatively fair. So yeah, I'm gonna
big beast, sharp fangs.
yeah,
Like
asset, big
Yeah.
fangs. It's a big
Sick.
monster, etc. So I'm going to roll a d6, a d8, and a d10. And I get rid of all of those last green ones so that's not confusing. Okay, some
Ooh.
decent numbers already.
That's a D10 and a D12.
A d10 and oh, you're right. So that's a d10, a d6, and I'm going to roll another d8. Ooh. What the shit? There it is. Yeah, cool. So I've got 2 6s, 5. I'm going to try with the d10 effect die. I'm going to put 11 in a total and 6 in that. So both Baz and Syl, if you guys want to assemble a die pool for resisting these massive teeth powering down towards you, there is some hesitation there. You can see in it as it is like so frightened. I believe, I'm going to double check how this works stress-wise. Because it has stress, I believe you can use that stress as one of your things in your roll.
Think so.
Yeah.
I remember reading that.
I think that's like if we're actively targeting that stress. Maybe?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I definitely want to target anything that I can. Forever.
I just want to target. Let's go.
We're fighting
me a
here,
target.
okay? These is fighting times. This is fighting words for fighting times. And if he's stressed, then I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna manipulate that into an opportunity.
I like the image of both of us getting bit, and then
At the same time.
Iggy in the background, just like, you got this.
How-
Go get him.
Iggy's,
You got that?
Iggy's in the back like, Tauja.
Yeah, go on, right hook. Go on, just like, get stab.
Although she doesn't show it, I think Iggy would definitely understand that Bass probably has the situation under control.
Yeah.
Serious, we know this. We believe in each other.
I think I know what I'm gonna do for my role.
Okay, this is taking slightly too long to go and check through the roster. What I'm going to say is because it has a d12 afraid stress, you can add a d12 to a dice pool.
I'll take that.
That's what I'm saying in this moment.
Right.
I might be wrong. And Cortex, if you're
Well,
watching,
you know what?
Um,
It doesn't even matter because you know who's always right? The DM.
True. Oh no, it's the GM in this system. It's all wrong.
No, it's the narrator.
I'm the narrator.
Right, I'm wrong now.
Oh, friendly narrator is the final say on if we can have or have not
Yes.
So,
this D6 among
Right.
us. All right, cool.
Let's
so
do our
yeah, if
rolls.
you just want to assemble your die pools and go ahead and make your rolls against its giant beastie slashing its giant fangs down towards you.
So to build this dice pool, is it different, or can we pick from each category again?
You pick from the categories.
Oh, it's from each category.
What you think you're using to evade it. It could be your agility to dodge its fangs. As far as your values, it could be so there's a list of the values. It could be continue for glory, as you are like, I don't even get hit. Blah. Or it could be devotion for some reason. You might, if you want to use your spear to block it, you could maybe argue adding your asset die for that.
You know I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely.
So put those together, and then on top of that, add a d12 because it is stressed.
All right. So
I feel that so deep in my
that'll
entire
be
being.
D10.
So then,
D8. Another D8.
And another d8. Wow.
so I have 6 dice total. All right, let's do this thing because I saw Syl roll up with that, giant golden fork, and I'm gonna just get mine out too.
Go for
Pull
it.
that a cyber.
Spear. So I think for mine, I'm gonna go strength again.
Okay.
Probably glory again.
Sure.
Soldier of the Garden. I'm also going to spend a plot point to activate my graceful warrior part of Soldier of the Garden.
Oh.
So I can spend a plot point, and I can add both my agility and strength dice to my dice pool in a test, contest, or challenge that deals with battle instead of just one
That's what
attribute.
this is.
So, and then I'll also, if I can, use my spear asset to help in defending this, like,
That is absolutely cool.
attack. So that'll be a D10, a D8, a D8, a D8, a D8. And a d12. 1d10, 48, 1d12. Okay. Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with
1d12. 1d10. 48.
Dang it. I'm going with strength.
So you've got a hitch, Baz.
Oh no.
Yes, I sure does.
I've just
And
dragged that across into my little hitch pool.
and I know that you're gonna put that in your secret little later box to hurt us.
Your secret little later box.
But it's okay because I also rolled justice because my great might represents defense, not destruction. But in this case, it only half represents defense because I'm also choosing violence. And and I am also using my distinction of fickle luck once again because I feel like that will serve me better than being a knight of Luxaria. Sorry. But I'm pulling my sword, guys. It's sword play time, which is my specialty, and I'm using my Sunforge blade, which glows with heat. Thankfully, it comes with a magical protective sheath, which I don't need right now because I'm whipping her out. And I mean, as it crests the air, sparks fly like magical fire steel, Swedish fire steel. We're not sponsored by them, but we could be.
Maybe. I mean, if you want to reach out, I'm just saying.
I mean,
And the dragon.
Swedish Fire Steel, if you're watching.
Please, if you're in the chat, Swedish Fire Steel, please send us one of those cool
I'm
keychains.
watching a chat like a hawk in case they happen to be there.
Someone tweet them if they have an account. They seem like they might not. They seem like they might be off the grid, but in case. But I'm pulling this sword and the dragon, or the Centa lizard, whatever we're feeling. This blade? Surely not this blade, mate, for this blade was born of the light of the eternal sun forge. Her radiance bless it with her actual life, and it'll sunder any elf in twain, I tell you true, and so I can't even guess what it'll do for a beast like yourself.
Oh.
And,
Oh, damn.
Monologue intact.
and I really hope that the fact that I rolled a bunch of crap can be rectified. So let's just all take a moment together, everyone, and sort these
I
out.
mean, you can like equal it.
Figure out what
I'm
happens.
definitely gonna keep this 6.
Do you know Dan from Street Fighter? I feel a lot like Dan from Street Fighter is popping up here.
Yeah.
What happens if you roll the same number as the opponent?
No. Let me just.
The exact same number? Oh,
Let me
just win.
Because the highest you can get is the same.
I'm gonna use this one as my effect one though, because it'll hurt you.
Okay.
They clash and nothing happens. I don't know.
Beating a difficulty, page 15. Beating a difficulty means rolling higher than the difficulty total. If your total is the same as the difficulty's total, you didn't beat it. It counts as a failure.
Oh.
So,
I have,
you needed to
So it's
get
not meets it, beats it.
Yeah, so
I have
you
to keep my 5 because I
So you
won't
can't-
beat you.
So you've definitely failed it. Because the highest you get is 5 and the 6.
This
In
is
that
hard.
case, it's probably worth if you use like the 6 and say the 4
Yeah.
for the selected dice, and then put the D12 as the effect dice, because at least
Yep.
that way you step
When
down
it gets
their
stepped
effect
down.
dice by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright.
Alrighty. So let's get rid of, I guess, this D8 and
Yeah.
Yeah.
this and that.
This
Also-
is what we're doing.
So, alright.
Oh.
As these two massive heads, hesitating slightly in fear at these bolts of flame, spinning spears, and your burning magma-like blade rises up in front of it. Its two heads sweep down, its fangs whistling as they move through the air with such great ferocity and speed. Still, as you sidestep elegantly, your spear just kind of glances off and its head into the dirt. You can hear a as its head kind of pulls away in anger from the dirt.
So
Baz.
bonks it on the head with the other side of the spear.
Perfect. Bonk. as you wield your Sunfire blade, it comes out and you can see that heat mirage off of the black steel, the kind of glowing edge of it rippling in the air. But this head comes down and you're a little bit too close. Being there, trying to get that handle on it, being in control, scaring it backwards, it's a little bit too quick, and its teeth slam into you. The blunt force just knocks you into the dirt and backwards, and as it pulls away, there are two deep gashes, one upper arm, one kind of the middle of the clavicle. As it pulls away, you can feel a stinging pain. I need you to go ahead and take so you had a D12 effect die, which is bigger than its D10. So even though you failed, you'll step that down to a D8. So what I want you to do is put a D8 in. I think it's got to be injured. I think into injured stress.
That is fair.
As you take these nails and fangs.
I feel like getting bitten will injure you.
Well, if it had hit you, it would have sundered you in half.
With
Fair enough.
Wait, do I apply any stress because I beat it?
I don't believe you apply stress by resisting someone else's move. I don't think. I might well be wrong there. If you can find something which says that, go for it. In the meantime, Ordarius is going to do a thing.
I'll take a quick peek.
Thank you. Ordarius, our Earthblood elf, antlered Earth mage, wields up his staff, and he's going to command the roots and branches in the ground and space around you all to build up and form a wall, pushing the creature back. So he's going to roll some dice. What does that mean for him? He's got 8, 10, 10, 3, 8, 10, 3, 8, 10, 3, 8, here, 3, 8, 10. Boosh. Ooh, 2. I mean, I'm rolling against myself, so what does that mean? But I guess that still means 2 hits to me. I don't know. Weird.
The lizard stops and says, "I regret my actions here, and I really shouldn't have behaved this way. I'd like to try again and meet you on better footing." And
It puts on a top hat and 2 monocles on one for each of the heads. And it's just like, I'm terribly sorry about what's happened here.
I understand
what's
that you just wanted a mount, and I shouldn't have acted this way.
It whips out 4 canes.
Our earthen mage, earthen elf, reaches forward. The staff, the amber in its setting, glows, and you see the roots begin to and build and wrap and push the creature. So I rolled 2 1s, so 2 hitches, which I will deal with later, I guess. ... And that's he ends up with a 15 with an effect die of a D8. Lizard reacted in the same way that they did to Baz's scare away stuff, and rolled a 7 with a D4. So they will take that to Afraid. And so as Ordarius casts this spell, the branches pull up and push away. This massive lizard kind of backs up, stumbles, and seeing that this overwhelming show of force of magic and steel and fire is too much for it to bother with right now, it turns its tail, whoosh, slashes backwards in a whipping motion, sends breadths of branch and broken roots flying over all of you, and it goes into the undergrowth and vanishes around the corner and out of sight.
Nice.
Can I take an attack of opportunity?
You know what? As it's running away, you really want to, sure.
Can I
shoot a
throw
fireball
at it
after,
while it runs away?
Don't come back here!
Yeah.
If you want to go for the kill, you can certainly roll.
And tell your mates. No. We're good.
No? Okay.
And then it comes back.
We're friends.
Oh, you want to fight, mate? Well.
Well, I was actually going to leave you alone because I thought it was unfair of me to bring my family, but now that you call on it, he fucking go.
I'm going to go through my cell phone right now and call everybody I've ever met.
Andrew, so just as a note for future things, for this time we can just have a look at it, but if it is a contest, if the defender beats the initial contest, the contest then goes back onto the initial aggressor, and they then need to roll with the new difficulty value being whatever the defender rolled. So in that situation, it got, I don't know, like an 11. I got I think like a 16, 15.
Yeah.
It would then go back to the lizard, and it would have to beat a 16.
And then if it failed, you'd then...
If it failed, I would inflict the stress on it.
Okay.
Does it just ping pong back
Yeah,
until
basically
you
ping pongs back until the attacker
someone
like,
doesn't
wins, basically.
succeed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
So yeah.
Good to know. Badass. So with the flurry of growing and winding roots, and also your kind of flash and slashing back with the spear, it turns tail and vanishes off into the jungle. Well,
Bess! And I run over to her. And I assess the situation. Bess, you all right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna have to stuff a curlax up in this here hole I've got now. I mean, I've got 2 holes in my shoulder.
Bloody hell, love. It helps if you don't let it bite you.
Well, I mean, I was just getting in real close. I was just having a good look, but I'm just gonna ball up some grass, I think, and just block it up.
Just stick some grass and dirt in it. I'll do. It's fine.
Yeah, hell, but I think this bloody thing's got me, but I'm just gonna
While she like tries to MacGyver a bandage, I'll just place my hand like over her wound and
feel the grass inside.
Use like a magical like fire energy to like sear the wound to stop the bleeding.
Oh right, duh, because
Posture check, everybody.
posture check.
Sort of stretch. Make sure you're sitting properly after a nice long combat.
So, a couple notes on stress. Now that we are kind of in this aftermath of this.
now that we are stressed.
Now that
And by we, you mean you.
Yes.
So, in any scene in which your character spends most of the time sleeping, resting, or otherwise taking care of yourself, you can take your stress dice down by 1. So, if this were like a short or long rest-esque kind of scene, this isn't. You guys are in the middle of this path, kind of vibing, but you can always so your stress is a D8, I believe. You would then lower that to a D6. You can recover stress dice in other ways, usually by seeking out someone or something to step them down. You can activate one of the narrator's hitches, so I've made 2 of those in that last set of attacks, to let you step a stress die down by 1. Other characters can attempt to recover your stress by making a test against an opposition pool based on difficulty dice equal in size to the stress. So, essentially, the minimum that your stress die can be is a D6, yours is a D8. So, I had 2 hitches. What you can do is give me a plot point, activate those 2 hitches, and you'll step that die down by 1 to a D6, and then 1, and it'll be gone.
I shall do it.
Okay, so I will give myself a token.
I think. Do you have to spend plot points to activate the hitches?
I think I gain 1.
I think it is a case of like you spend and also.
Oh, so it goes from Baz to me.
Maybe, possibly.
Okay. For now, I'll gain 1 and
say.
get hitches.
Tell you what, give me another moment. I'll have another look through.
Thank you.
I would also like an opportunity to possibly try and heal my sister.
Of course. How would you attempt to do so?
By using, of course, my light energy, the energy of light. I will say
Some fire.
Solaris Motus, and like tiny little motes of light will begin to kind of like formulate in the air and then kind of softly set themselves down on the wound.
Beautiful.
Contest the wound, I guess you were saying?
Yeah, so I'll say with that first activating of my hitches, that'll bring it down to a D6. So I will roll 2d6. I think that's going to be the opposition pool for you, as that the stress die is a d6. So I'm going to roll 2 of those. I rolled a 1 and a 2, so I got another goddamn hitch.
Yes.
A hitch on a fucking heel.
You You can go ahead and roll your die for healing. Probably your intellect, things like devotion. Yeah.
But
and
you can do it,
magic. You probably can. The DC's technically 2. Is that
2? I was about to say the 1 doesn't even stay.
Yeah, true.
Bang on.
All right, intelligence of 10, or would this be spirit? What do you think?
I think either works. Maybe leaning slightly towards more spirit.
I think we'll
Okay,
spirit.
we'll go spirit then.
Whichever one's higher.
Well, I don't want to metagame too hard, but I believe spirit's fine. Let's see. With this, we will go with devotion to my sister.
Oh.
Indeed.
Then we will go hot-headed son. No, I was kidding. We're gonna go with probably simplicity is the best solution. We'll either do some. What do you think? Sunfire Elf or simplicity is the best solution?
I like the simplicity, the sound of it. I don't know if it's good or not.
Is this simplicity?
Just burning up, close the hole.
Is it just like you're burning, close the hole? Is that it?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's pretty
We'll go
simple to me,
Sunfire Elf.
actually. Yeah, fair.
We'll go Sunfire Elf. That's fine. We'll go Sunfire Elf, no problem. And would this be considered sun magic?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We'll change
where we
that to a
just
D8 then.
Just get all.
What else
ones.
do we even got?
Iggy, you have
Bets.
been given advantage by Shiny Steve,
Woo.
What?
which I think we said just means that you get a
Nice.
plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a
Plot
point.
points are the bomb. All right. I will take a plot
PP
point.
time.
PP
okay.
die.
Stop making PP time try to happen because it's
All right,
not.
here we go. That is submit. Let's do this. Oh! That's what I like to see.
That should do it.
Nice.
Okay, I like it a lot. And
Nice.
so because of how high that is,
Oh
I
my
get a
God.
superpower, right?
I mean,
Or like a tattoo, like
So-
a nice.
the effect.
Shiny,
that
this
would
one's
bump
for you.
The effect that would bump up by 2, which means it goes above 12.
Yeah.
I get a D6 plus a 12.
Oh my god.
It's
Okay.
it's an ultra success.
Yeah.
And a really cute, like, little sister's tat.
Do you want to bequeath onto your sister a queen tattoo?
No. Just stand up.
Oh, Ig, I knew
Yeah.
you wasn't a bogan. I know they say it back at home, but I knew you wasn't.
Who's calling me a bogan?
I mean, nobody says it yet, but I just know that you ain't now. Oh, I messed. I went into another voice.
You sure ain't now.
You sure ain't a bogan now.
hell ain't a bargain now. Oh, crikey.
All right. No, I will say that maybe because the heal was so good that could I say that maybe she feels a bit invigorated in some way.
Invigorated in some way. For sure. I mean, all of her stress is for sure gone. So you can get rid of that injured stress completely. As far as invigorated in some way.
Temporary asset.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a secret
I
way to
think
say
that's
advantage.
I think that's a good idea, Jordan. I'm going to say you can have a temporary asset to either spirit, strength, or agility. And I'm going to... Okay. I don't know if this is exactly how this works. I'm going to say you can step up your strength, agility, or spirit up 1. So if your spirit is 10, for the next scene, the next time you have to roll dice, your spirit will count as a 12.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
That.
Hey.
Good.
Yep.
Because your sister's magic is reverberating within you.
That does track though because spirit.
Spirit energy.
Spirit.
So yeah, the next time you have to roll spirit, use a d12 instead of a d10, and then bring it back down.
Hey, sister power.
Sister power.
Sister power, yo.
Perfect.
I think while they were talking, Syl definitely turned to our Earthblood Elf friend and was just like, do they just kind of like have their own language or something? Because I'm not understanding half the words they're saying.
I believe it's called a dialect. I don't understand half of it either. He waves his staff and all like the roots and stuff they conjured up to begin to scare off the lizard kind of fade and pull back away. Well, I certainly am very glad that I brought all of you.
So we can hurt ourselves.
I'm so sorry that you were hurt there, Baz, but Iggy, Ignis,
Aye.
that's his powerful magic you wield. I'm impressed and glad to have you alongside us.
She takes note of the compliment and gives her a, like, I know nod.
Pulls out the spell book, writes down, I got a nice compliment today.
And pastes one
More like,
sticker.
it's about time.
About
One tiny golden star.
A little star sticker, hell yeah.
Iggy's got a little star thing for themselves. There's already like 37 stars that they've like. That
I
she's given
carry
herself.
around a
I
little
give my-
tiny notebook
give
with
myself
stickers that I
stars.
award myself
You're like, hey,
Yes.
you deserve them, each and every one of them.
every day. That's a really great way to live.
pretty much. Alrighty. Would you guys like to do anything apart from continue on? Do you want to take a rest? Do you want to have a snack? Do you want to look for anything? Or are you guys content to continue pressing on and upwards?
Hell no, I'm invigorated. I'm gonna get up off the ground and wipe the dirt off my ass, and I'm gonna be like, well, I can't. Nope, not that voice. I guess we ain't riding.
We goddamn you!
I guess we ain't riding that up the mountain, eh?
May I do a quick one-over on where the creature ran off to?
Well, it seemed to run down the hill back where it came from. So away from you guys and down.
Righto.
I reckon we're probably fine.
Yeah.
Well, so like spins the spear back around, back into basically walking stick configuration.
You know what? Iggy will take note of that, and she will look over at you and be like, you know, for an old man, you move quite spry.
What can I say? I keep fit. And
It's all
still
that
starts
air.
looking forward.
It's all
It's
that
all
hot
that
air
air,
we see
isn't
them eating. Every time they open the jar that they got in the bag, it's the air, that hot air. Full of it.
How do they stay so thin? I only use air.
Chock-a block.
It's
of
all
air.
about
Very
looking.
low calorie diet.
It's all about watching your calories. I have none.
I have none. She gives you a nod of acknowledgement, so.
Ooh. Now you can write in your book that you got a compliment today.
So I was on a little notebook. I got a really nice compliment today.
So I guess my notebook is like almost got a tat. And
I was about to say, I imagine yours is just a lot of pictures, a lot of drawings.
yeah, almost got a tat, almost got a car, didn't get any of those things, got hurt.
Got bit. Ow.
It's got a cut.
The lizard!
Of course.
Here's some of my blood to remember the moment.
Bleh.
Yep.
Here's part of the banana peel from earlier. So tasty.
Pink bananas.
Yum.
This is rotten.
Awkwardly pressed into the journal. Way too thick.
Way too thick was just
Yeah.
like, stop that. That's not right. You can't have that.
God, old bananas are the worst. They turn into concrete. Anyway.
Wait,
yeah, they do. Like
Is
when
that
like
true?
yeah, like when like banana flesh dries out and starts going bad, like it goes really, really hard. Like it sticks to stuff and goes hard.
I mean,
I'm gonna science that later.
I'm gonna let that one go.
I'm not.
Okay.
Ever.
Now I ain't no banana scientist, but
Well.
Add that to your frog tracker, small spider flower tracker, and keep looking for that later on. For now, as you guys begin picking yourselves back up, dusting yourself off, you can still feel that warmth inside you, Baz, of that magic that has closed up those wounds and has empowered you to continue climbing.
Mr. Power.
Ordarius kind of gives you all a sincere nod of approval and impressiveness, and continues on and upwards. This trail that you've been following continues a good while longer. It spirals almost up and up and up this mountain that you can see now is coming to a high peak, you think, at this level. You keep pushing up, and eventually this trail comes to an end. You see, actually, it kind of diverts and goes into a thick hollow nested between a section of thickly rooted trees and rock that kind of breaks away from the cliffside itself into a small nest. As you see, this is the end of this trail, this shortcut, this faster path through the jungle, you find yourselves once again pushing and striving through jungle and rock. You are more climbing than you are walking at this point, until eventually you hear a commotion above.
Someone's screaming Hydra in the distance. Huh.
How insightful of them. You immediately see, as you kind of glance around the rest of your troop, you see Ordarius already has his staff up, that kind of soft yellow glow emanating from the amber at its tip to illuminate this now kind of shaded canopy space. And you hear ahead a fuck, shit, fucking, come on. And then you see now as leaves plume outwards as this figure, as you quickly see is an elf, is like running down the mountain and is like falling over and into a section of like dirty undergrowth and stands back up and leans up against a tree as they're rapidly descending, and they see you. Oh, hi, please, help. And he runs down closer towards you guys.
Sure thing, bud. What's going on?
He like glances up behind him. There are crazy people up here. They're chasing me. Well, they were. I think I got away.
You've met them too, then?
Who? What are you talking about?
We saw one earlier down...
It's our friend, not yet!
What?
So, first of all, you alright? You injured?
I don't think so. I was just making sketches of the beautiful views across the mountains, and this crazy elf came sprinting at me.
Him.
He was terrifying. He had blood all over him. He had a skull mask.
Oh, well, shit.
Not yet.
So I was gonna quickly turn to Iggy and Baz, just be like, so, how are both of you with emotional care?
I'm in need of it. Please.
Alright, mate, I'm gonna hand him the fire water.
They take
There you go.
They like their hands trembling. They drop the glass on the floor. I'm so sorry.
Jesus, I've got.
I'm gonna point my staff like under his chin and like pull his chin up quickly and say, "Get a hold of yourself."
Bess is the feelings one, mate. Or Iggy's the feelings one. I'm Bess.
Think about it, taking that one a bit too literally, love. Also, real quick, thank you to Dead Toothbrush for gifting a sub to someone like
Hell yeah!
And congrats, Quote Tsushima, on getting the gifted sub.
Quite
Very much
Tsushima.
appreciated. Thank you.
Can I? Because there's no descriptions on said spells. My spell description is just sense truth of the heart.
Ooh, okay.
Can I word this in a way that basically allows him to give me a like rundown description of exactly what he saw, where he saw, and how many he saw?
So you can ask him that, and he will respond. You can also cast a spell of truth if you'd like to, kind of like magical insight check.
Oh, for sure. I don't want to give him the opportunity to even waste our time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. As you kind of like ask that rapid fire description, he's like, well, my name is Noisuli. I was up here making paintings and sketches, and this entity, this elf, twisted poor creature. He burst from the foliage, his horns drenched in viscera. He ran at me laughing and cackling, and he sprinted forth to me, and I yelped, I dropped my things, and I pelted it down the hill, and I think I hid for a short while, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then when I thought it was clear, I began making my way down. I don't think he's following me, but if there's any help you can give me to help get away or to descend, I mean, what are you all doing up here?
Oh, well, we're going up, mate.
Oh, Christ! If you would like to, Iggy, put together a die pool to cast this spell, and go ahead and roll that. It's all like the truth and spirit or intellect and your sun magic and all this kind of stuff.
Sure thing. So, first it's going to be influence,
Okay.
I assumed, and then we're gonna say truth. We're gonna say hot-headed sun mage because I'm tired of his rambling. Sun magic and sun spell, and as I cast it, as the rambling continues, it's just a straight it's like a straight set of symbols. It's just like one down, one across, like very violently. And she says, "Verum animo," and like a burst like of energy kind of comes out from her, of like a white like energy that kind of dissipates like immediately.
Okay.
That's intense.
And it will be boom.
Ooh.
Hey, I mean, come on.
Damn.
I mean,
Show.
That's some good rolls. $16 with a D10 effect dice. Oh. Stonk.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah. Damn.
Donks. That's what happens.
Stonk.
That is a strong set of rolls.
That's one of them there big
I'll just I'll basically look at him and say, and take my staff and just kind of raise his chin.
Oh.
Look, any information you can give us immediately
Hitch as
would be
well.
nice.
Hitch for me, goddamn. Alrighty, as you cast this spell across this elf, he kind of, as you begin the casting, like midway through his rambling response, you can see his eyes kind of widen slightly, a shocked response to you casting a spell at him. But as you finish the casting, your magic flows across them, and it tries to search in that blinding light of the sun that reveals all darkness and corruption and lies. And there's nothing. Not truth. Not lies. No heart.
Do I sense an illusion?
I think with that success, narrow though it is, the only logical explanation for that being the outcome is that this entity is an illusion.
Can I, since I derive this from the roll, can I shove my staff into him in an attempt to disillusion said illusion?
I think so. They will try to sidestep and avoid being staffed in the chest, however.
Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and
Understandably.
make a roll to shove them in the chest with your staff, whatever you think that.
Surely.
Can I donate a PP?
You certainly can.
Oh, I'd love your PP.
That's my favorite. That's what everyone says.
Okay, well, I mean, strength, obviously, for shove. Then we're gonna go with... should it still be truth, as if I'm, like, trying to find the truth? Or would it be more like justice or something?
I think it could be truth.
If you have a suggestion, please.
Truth. I think still truth.
Truth to show its true
okay.
nature.
Yeah. You are revealing its true nature to everyone there, so I think so.
Yeah.
Since I have found this thing out, or attempting to find this thing, I think maybe simplicity is the best solution. Would be
rather
what
than
I'm
finding
doing
an admittance or dispelling it. It's just a kind of move. That's a very simple, direct approach.
Real quick, Meg has just redeemed a crit success for all of us. 3 separate redeems.
PP's one.
What?
Oh my
the
god,
hell does
3
that
separate
mean?
redeems.
God damn, Meg.
Whoa.
Okay, what does it? Okay. What does that mean for this?
That means that the sun goddess herself.
I summon the sun goddess.
I'll help you, sister. Sister power.
I mean, so crit successes cost 3,000 nit bits. That's a shitload. That's hours and hours of being
Yeah.
uncheated.
9,000.
Yeah, that's a shitload. And so, crit success when we're playing D&D is that's a nat 20 for you. And so I think for this, that means you succeed.
Just
So
succeed.
what I'll say is,
Simple.
don't bother rolling. Just pick the
Okay.
highest die from what your pool would have been, and that will be your effect die for that. And we'll just say,
Okay.
you get higher than them, and just pick your effect die.
Time, PB time.
So I won't bother rolling for.
All right. So unfortunately, with this roll, because I mean, I'm not a physical person. The highest is an
now.
8. I am now.
Yeah.
Highest is an 8 effect die.
I was using one of the hinder features of the distinction. So the distinctions of like, I'm a sun elf, so I can do this, or I'm a moon elf, and so I can do this. An option you have in this system is you can effectively lessen that impact and kind of store that for later. And so you go from what would be a D8, and you instead use a D4, and you gain a plot point. And so they would still have rolled and be beaten by you, so I will still add myself a plot point for that.
And also add yourself some hydration into your system.
Oh my god!
Tower.
There's a little plot point there. But you absolutely succeed as you detect this illusory nature.
Oh, don't forget to switch over to the dice. Or
Oh.
yeah.
Yes, good point. Thank you.
So, as you thrust your staff forward, they are kind of taken aback, and they take a sidestep, but you notice their foot ever so slightly passes like an inch through like a root that should be there before it stops, and as it does so, you push a little bit further, and your staff, it's like, oh no, you stabbed me! and they into a cloud of like silver sparkles and purple smoke that quickly dissipates into nothingness.
That was extremely shady.
That was
Just
one hell of a
gotta say.
stab. I've got to give it to you.
Ugh,
I kind of look at my staff, at what I was able to do with it, and I'm like, well, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew. I had a feeling.
I had a feeling.
Syl's going to do
I
a
had a
little bit of a
feeling.
stretch, some kind of posture check, just make sure that they're nice and limber. Recommends everyone else does as well.
I'm just making sure I've got a note that Baz and Syl, you guys still have crit successes stored up. So then the next roll thing you do, I guess you can just succeed it. Because that's what these points are for. Cool. With that, Ordarius kind of eyes wide, aghast, mouth agape, his staff still there, glowing faintly in this dim light. What on earth is happening here? Crazy.
Immediately, Iggy would just be like eyes open because of what just happened, like eyes like looking for the caster. Maybe they have to have vision of what they're doing, kind of thing.
Seeing you do this, Ordarius immediately, good idea, and starts scanning around and looking as well.
Who do you think sent that, mate? Do you think it was our friend Not Yet?
Certainly could
Had to have been.
It might be.
It's terrifying to think that whatever insane creature that poor elf now has access to such illusionary magic. Illusion magic is terrifying.
To say I didn't see it in them? Not yet sending a scary like that. Hell.
What does it? Was the lizard thing even real?
Nah, that was real, mate.
I'm going to just look towards the bite marks on Baz and be like,
Flashback to giant fangs puncturing your flesh.
just gonna look at it. You might want to just. You sure? Sure, that's the question you're gonna ask.
I mean, I have been drinking the firewater all day on this hike here, but I felt that.
Have you any idea how terrible that is? You're hiking in a jungle, and all you're drinking is whiskey.
It's magma whiskey.
That's probably worse.
It is, but the heat never bothered me anyway, mate.
It never bothered
Alright,
me.
Elsa.
Anyway.
Helsa.
It's negative
Elsa.
Elsa.
Absolutely, Elsa.
Oh,
Well, that
good.
needs to happen.
Oh my god! Your D&D character idea. You're just a prince. You're just Elsa, but you're a fire ganassi and you just reskin all of
Listen,
the ice.
good night, everyone. We have to go make that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Whatever. Like we've got costumes to make, like choreo to plan. Sorry.
You do. So, as you all take this moment, pausing as this illusion has been dispelled, removed, revealed to be true. For a moment you will pause, scanning your eye lines through the trees, searching for whatever mage may have conjured this illusion to come and deceive you.
So freaked out.
Minutes pass. Nothing seems to catch your eyes.
Huh. Any of you
None
see
of
anything?
us?
Anything around?
Egg,
What, Bass?
where is it?
Yeah, you know about
I don't
magic.
see it.
Egg, use your magic. Do the thing from the book.
Oh yeah,
Not
do the
sure
thing.
what time of day it. Not sure what time it is. But I'm gonna raise my staff in the air and give away our position by casting Circulus Luminous.
Wow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just gonna go just light. But I want to use the light to be able to see
Oh, bloody hell.
better in
You
the
want to
shadows
see?
around.
You mean you want to see them seeing us?
Yeah.
See,
I get it. I get it.
It's when you shine the flashlight in the yard for spiders and you can see their eyes all looking back
Right.
at you. You want that?
Get a
that
black,
kind of
You know
effect.
what? I think we know it sees us.
you get a black light and you can see all the scorpions all going and shit.
After that cute little thing that it sent, I think it
Yeah.
can see.
I mean, most probably,
Sure.
right?
As you do that, seeing what you're up to, and after this light and illuminates the jungle, it's that horrible. It's almost like worse in a sense. Like it's late afternoon, but you are shaded in the canopy, and as the light across and above you, like small, like an explosion, like a sideways firework, and it sends this light shadowing and flickering. You can almost see what looks like 1,000 grasping hands of shadow as the various branches and boughs of trees catch these rays of light. But seeing this, Ordarius raises his staff. There is a yellowish golden glow from the amber at the end of their staff, and you can see the areas where leaves cover up and kind of descend from the canopy, pull back to show and reveal, and like almost lift the skirts off of the dense canopy to gain a better line of sight across the trees and the wood.
We've got a bit of a perv here lifting skirts.
Well, you might call me the perv, but they're the ones watching. And he points up just in time for you. Just in time, and then
Don't yuck my yum, mate.
Iggy, as you are looking out through this light as well, you see as the various foliage is pulled apart to allow your light to shine through. You can see one. Two. Wait, no, two. Wait, no, four.
For what?
5 various figures, similar sizes, humanoid.
Is this not yet
Elven.
and their friends?
They're far.
I'll
At the
point
very-
off into the distance. Over there.
Oh, Ignis, I knew you'd find them.
As the light catches across them, you see, exactly as you described, the glinting of their eyes reflected through their skull-like masks.
Right.
They're just at the very edge of this light, and as this light explodes across, you can hear a...
Oh, that's not yet. That's
There.
them.
And it grows as one begins the laughter, and then more. And it begins to layer as more of them begin to laugh, and it echoes through the muffling, horrible, echoing sound beneath this canopy of trees. You see them swing down and land on the ground. All of them are still staring at you. Down this...
How far away at this point do you think?
About 100 meters. They're kind of far. It's on the very edges of where your light from your spell illuminates.
Yeah.
And as they kind of descend, you can see them all like reach up and then like flare outwards. They like raise their arms, and you can see a flash almost in your mind as a strange sensation takes over you. It seems to almost peer into your mind, instilling a vision as if you are much closer to them. And you can see the skull-like mask opens, and you see their skull. Skinless, red, sinew and muscle stretched across, eyeballs eyelidless, wide, with veins and sinew connecting at the sides. Bare teeth, sharp, elongated, outward facing. You see their jaws themselves begin to break apart into mandibles. And I'm gonna roll something
Don't afraid us.
for all of you, as this is a vision that is striking into all of your minds.
Oh, you're scared.
This reminds me of the like new vampire people in Blade 2. Like when they go in, instead of like just being normal vampires, their jaw literally splits open and they have like mandibles on each side which inject like a paralyzing poison as they bite in.
Could I stop rolling hitches? Maybe? Maybe one
No.
day. God
No,
damn
it's okay. It's okay. Hey.
Just
that's
the one.
good.
It's just the one.
It is just the one. I need all of you to roll to resist this. It's
boy.
going to be something most likely spirit. Wait, but don't forget, Syl and Baz, you still have your crit successes, so you
Oh,
don't.
sick!
Oh no!
Just Iggy need to worry about this.
Wait, so like me and Syl can just.
You and Syl are fine.
We just win.
You're just vibing.
Bass is gonna look at all this unfolding and see the light glinting back, and she's just gonna go, "Oh, that's mint."
Ugh.
So
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's mint.
What are we looking for here in terms of values?
I'm thinking, as far as your values go, it could be truth as you are peering out into the darkness to try and understand what's following you. It could be. You could argue devotion if you wanted to try and keep a hold of yourself to protect your sister.
Probably truth.
Alrighty.
I don't find any distinctions here that fit really. Simplicity, hot-headed, sunfire.
It could be hot-headed to try and. It is fine, whatever. And you have blasé your way through it.
Sure.
That's blasé, blaze through it, fire.
That is extremely egg. It's egg
Right.
as hell, mate.
Right. So that's a fail. By one. No, by two.
Wait, can we help?
you-
PP time.
You could spend a plot point to create a temporary asset.
Save your peepees. Save your peepees. That's fine. I don't have any stress yet.
All right.
He wants to save our people for
Sister
someone
power,
special.
though. Yeah, well, I've been told that before, but I just can't. couldn't understand it. If you got something nice you want to show to everybody.
As this like
Yes, now's not the time.
as this echoing vision of horrible gore like zooms into your vision as you look into the darkness with your light kind of shedding its golden rays through this woodland up this mountain. You see this horrible visage, and I'm gonna get you, please, to take a D10 stress to afraid.
Oh,
Okay.
And as quickly as they appeared, they all turn and run, vanishing between the trees,
Got it.
scrambling up. They like you see like a couple like parkour like jump their way, swing off a branch back into the tree line. And
Why is that scarier than if they'd stayed?
So Iggy is at this point, she like her eyes, she's got like 1,000-yard stare out into the distance, and she's kind of glazed over, and she'll just kind of whisper, and she'll be like, "Bess,
Ick.
did you see that?
I saw it. I saw it. They ran because you looked at them.
I'm gonna turn to you and like." You'll just see that I'm like almost looking through you.
That's it. That's what they saw. I'm seeing it now. Thy sword then, and this why they gone. Bit. They don't say that, do they?
Now they do.
Bit.
Iggy is almost in shell shock. It feels like just completely zoned out for a second.
If you turn to Syl, the code is like they finish rubbing their eyes, like, bloody, I think they were trying to show me something, but I looked right into the light that you made, and it just, don't do that. It's not good.
Iggy will like bend down and like put her hands around her knees.
Ordarius kind of squats in front of you and puts like a hand on your shoulder. I know that was a lot. It's okay. They're trying to scare us. All of us. But we're still together. Including your sister, because of you.
Right.
The same way that you had her, we've got you.
That's true.
We're here together to defend this forest. And that includes taking care of ourselves, and not succumbing to the fear those things, whatever the hell they are, want to instill in us. I know that will stay inside you for some time to come, but for now, that ringing of a bell inside your chest of fear, still it. Take my hand. And then you try to take your hand.
Hydrate.
I'm gonna roll a real dice, and I'm gonna roll 50-50 on this.
Oh.
She will not take his hand, and she will like just kind of blink twice, and then like take her staff and try to raise herself up off the ground. Fail because of the fear, and kind of just lean into his hand, and then take it that way.
He stands to his full height and steadies you, but lets your hand go as soon as you seem stable. All right. It's going to be dark soon. I don't know that we want to push on toward the summit with those things waiting for us in the dark. Let's try and find somewhere to rest.
Is there anybody or anywhere we can find respite here, this far up?
Oh, can we make the fire circle that like they have in the prisons in the Fire Elf Kingdom?
I could combine a couple of my spells to actually try and do that, but
I will spend a PP on that.
I'll put all my PP down.
I'll put every PP I have.
It's definitely pushing the magic quite far to be what is normally quite a... But, I mean, you've got a shitload of PPs, and that sounds cool, so I'm going to say yes.
PP!
Syl will also... Syl will drop a PP on that as well, why not?
Okay.
Help by, like, drawing out a circle with their spear to create, like, a clear marker indication of, like, where
We all help.
Where to go.
Hell yeah.
I say that while Syl is drawing out the circle, I ask Bess to pull out her sword. That way I can I basically
What sword?
Yeah, I will cast Fulmin Ignum against her sword, and it will light a blaze, like actually on fire.
Hell yeah.
And then I'll cast Circulus Luminous around us, and I'll tell her to run the sword around the circle, and it'll cause the flame walls to go up.
Get your sword up, swing it around your head like a helicopter.
I'm gonna need a roll for this though. This is gonna be fun.
Best.
As this is absolutely pushing the spell quite far.
Sure.
So, go ahead and put together a die pool for casting the casting of this kind of spell. But go ahead.
I'll do the 2 PP thing to give me that temporary new spell.
I'm not gonna touch any of my PPs so that I don't mess anything up, but please feel free to drag mine away.
Okay.
If you want them.
I've popped my PP onto there too.
But I will donate as much PP as I have.
You have 2. Do you want to spend both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take them both.
In that case, you have got 5 plot points being put into this. So put together your die pool and add 5d6.
Okay. So I'll put 5d6 down and then I'll start adding. Intelligence to be able to do this. Then
Nobody's smarter than my egg.
we're gonna go with devotion to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna go with Sunfire Elf.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Add 5d6 on top of that.
Right. Also Sun Magic and spells. So 6d6, 1d8, 3d10, ladies
Fuck yeah.
and gentlemen.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, no, not 3d10. No. 48, 1d10. 48, 1d10. There we go.
Oh, you see, in our homeland, it takes 8
Oh my
mages to make a
good-
pig like this.
Okay.
God.
Oof.
You got one hitch.
That's okay. That's okay.
Got some pretty
That's
good
why-
rolls.
That's why we got our PPs out.
I think you matched the roll.
You match it, which is not quite enough.
Hold on.
Put
What
together
if
put
I-
together stuff.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
How
how
can I
do
click it?
Is there a way that we can just like
choose an opportunity?
plus one?
No, because I have 3
Oh.
hitches, so I'm looking to see whether or not you can.
Come on. There it goes.
Operating.
No, what am I saying? What-
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, because I'm seeing if you can.
We must draw upon our metagaming skills.
And the lack of knowledge of a new system.
Yeah.
Game these here dice by the rule of cool and let us have the prison.
Time to exploit a new system.
Once again, we are back to destroy the rule book of a carefully crafted game and
What is the hitches on a narrator do for
Yeah. So
You have to
Me-
spend a plot point to activate them, I think.
yeah. So my hitch. So you would need to have plot points left, and because you spent all of them adding essentially assets to this.
did we all just mindlessly throw our PPs on
You
the
absolutely
same-
did.
in regards to this, I did throw my a second PP in to have this spell permanently for the rest of the session.
Yeah.
Did I need to do that? No, I didn't. But that's fine.
You can. We're figuring this out. If you want to take that back and use it to activate one of my hitches and add another d6 now, I'm happy for you to do that.
Another thing you can do, bear in mind, is you can activate the hitch and you can step up an existing asset.
Well, from a d6 to a d8.
Or like, I think one of your assets would be your spells.
Yeah.
So you could step one of them up for this roll, I
So
think.
it'd be a D10.
Yeah. If you want
That 5 would be a D10.
Sure. So if you want to get rid of that die and then roll a d10 and see if that's better.
Go.
Go.
Oi.
Yes, sister power.
Yes. Hell yeah. Ready.
Hot flaming sister power, yeah.
It is difficult. This takes you a couple minutes of figuring out the order of the runes and the pace at which your sister carves the sun-forged blade in this circle, with Syl assisting with the spear carving out the right space and the maneuvering around the roots and rocks that fill this space.
Yes.
But eventually, you manage to get the right selection of runes and you utter the correct arcane phrases, and with a wall of fire erupts from the earth in the burning path of this sun-forged blade and creates about a 7-8 foot high wall of roiling flame that just wraps around in about a 20-foot odd radius, like a nice big open space within this jungle, and you all immediately feel the heat radiating inwards. It is hot and it is sweaty.
And everybody else hates it.
Honestly, yeah, I didn't think this one through.
Love it. Reminds
We
me of
love
home.
it.
Yeah, you
Sister power.
You two live in this?
Oh, we love it. Oh, I'm inside a burning ring of fire.
The designers of the game that watch this are going to be like, what the No.
You didn't tell us no. You didn't tell us no.
As if they would have thought this far in.
They were like, how could they do that with PPs?
They're butchering our system. I can't endorse this.
They're abusing their own PPs.
No, I love it. But you guys create this flaming wall around you and have bought yourself absolutely one great bug repellent, but also, hopefully, relative safety for a night's rest. Now, is there anything that you guys would like to do as you settle down for the rest for the evening? Or are you content to all bed down and get on with your resting so that you may pick up?
Well, I would definitely like
fire
to.
water around.
We can pass the fire water around. I would like to attempt to remove some of my afraid.
Okay. You are spending this period of time sleeping and resting, so you can lower your afraid down one step. I believe it's a D10, so you can knock that down to a D8.
Mm-hmm.
As you take this time to relax, drink, spend some time with your sister and these new compatriots, and level yourself somewhat. Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Hey,
That
love.
one's from me, because we are sharing the firewater right now.
Drank
We are
it
sharing
up.
the firewater.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I
Damn
brought
it!
whiskey out.
I don't have any tea. That would be my firewater.
Syl quietly sips their air, which is
Tell you
much
what, that is
spicier
some-
now.
That's a beautiful air.
Oh, there's some beautiful air that is.
I would spend the time.
I
To
think
be
that's the-
honest, I would spend the time as I'm trying to get rid of this afraid. I would spend that time as alone as possible
Okay.
That's fair.
to try and
Bass gets
bolster
it.
myself.
Bass
think-
totally gets it.
So at some
That's how
point-
That's how Iggy refuels
That's fine.
his alone time.
I think Syl at one point probably goes over, like, notices you're alone, probably goes over to Baz, and it's just like, should we, like, do we just leave her, or what?
Yeah, don't worry about it. She's recharging it. In the morning, it'll be different. But for now, we just stare.
Alrighty. One other thing. How the hell do I cool myself down? It's fucking boiling in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just let it on you. Just take
I
it
am. That's the problem. I can't stop letting it on me.
in. Yeah.
Sit as close to the center as you can.
Thank you, Iggy. You're wonderful. You're a star.
Get down on the ground. The hot air go up.
Yeah.
Just flatten yourself.
So Nadi's gonna spend this night laying as central as possible, laying right down on the ground. Maybe like scooping just like a little bit of dirt and like foliage on top of them to try and just like cool themselves down as much as they can.
I'll blow on you.
Thanks, love.
Madura assists slightly by they wave their staff a little bit and kind of there's like the wall of fire and just inside it they kind of raise up the ground and the roots and the earth somewhat to create a bit of a cool well inside the wall of flame. So you can absolutely scooch down a bit. Not quite fully under it, you're still kind of this radiating heat is still a lot, but you do have a bit of cover from it.
There you go.
Silla's making the most of it, and it's just like, oh,
Cover yourself in dirt.
thanks
like a
everyone,
lizard.
you're lovely.
Well, that was a bloody long day. Thank you all for coming with me on this. I know this has been hard. We knew this would be hard. And hopefully tomorrow we can come across our quarry and protect that which we came to protect. Rest well. And we'll see you guys next week, because that's where we're going to end. What crazy, I know. It's 10:30.
Did we just
Wait, so
create the best shelter in the world, though?
It's a pretty solid shelter.
Possibly.
If it's going to rain,
I mean,
you did come to conserve a forest animal, and you did just create a wall of fire in the middle of a forest.
Now,
What?
the elfwood elf would have like pushed the trees out of the way or something. It's
That would
fine.
make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, he's got to do his bit.
Yeah.
You know,
He
I
certainly
didn't
does.
see him throw a PP in.
I
Where's
would.
your PB, Earthblood Elf?
Where's your PP?
We all have our peepees out. Where's your peepee?
Yeah.
Please.
I mean,
Finally,
I've got two out right here. Come on.
okay, Syl and I have both shared our drinks. Like,
That's true.
what else do you need?
Well, we'll see whether or not Odaris whacks out their wood elf dong next time.
Whoa, whoa,
And now-
whoa!
Dude, what are you talking about? We're talking about plot points.
Yeah, what do you mean?
For now,
Vortex, what?
that has been us here at Chasing Tales. Thank you so much for joining us for this mini arc Monday where we delve into Tales of Xadia, or try to, I guess. Thank you so much also for the Cortex and fandom for publishing this awesome system in this beautiful setting. I can't wait to do more of it. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to jump back in and see where this goes next. Ooh, illusions and scary people galore. But with that said, let's do a little last round of who you guys are and where people can find you. And then I guess just say good night, and that we'll see you guys not next Monday, but the Monday after that,
Yes.
as the next Minute Monday comes fortnightly. So we'll go around on the order of what my Discord says. Dan, who are you? Where can people find you?
Hi, I am DM Dan. I am the DM over at Nat1Fun. You can find us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/BMBLEBEE. So it's Bumblebee without the U. You could also find us on all our social medias, facebook.com/Nat1Fun. Everything is Nat1Fun. Twitter, Nat1Fun. YouTube, Nat1Fun. And even Instagram, Nat1Fun. So come check us out. We play D&D. We are right now running through Icewind Dale. So you can find us in a horror campaign in the icy cold of the north.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, good times.
Taylor.
I'm Taylor. You can find me at that.
There you go, that's
depending
right
on
side.
That side.
That
yeah.
side, there you go.
So that's me. But normally I'm on Backwater Bastards, which is currently a sci-fi campaign running on a game engine that our DM made up. So if you like watching us abuse rules, come see that, or hear it rather, because it is only a podcast, not a stream, so you don't have to look at our weird mugs. You can just listen to us on Thursdays when that thing drops. And it's pretty crazy. It's a comedy and there are F words, so if you hate laughing and fun, then don't tune in. But if you like those things, you should drop by. I play a bear that's almost as dumb as Bass, so you know, if you like that kind of thing, that's where we are, and we're on Twitter at BW Bastards. And on everything else as Backwater Bastards, and we would love to hang out with you. I'm so excited to be here because Dragon Prince is like my secret addiction. And it's so good, and I'm so jazzed.
I think we all binge watched the crap out of the show again, like before we started playing.
We did. We all binged it right before we played. So if you guys are hearing us talk about stuff and you're like, when did that happen? Well, we watched all of it in the last 48 hours. So we know everything. Dan gave us a cheat sheet of like, listen, here's the queen's name. These are the elements. We studied for this, you guys. Like, you don't even know.
Actually
We
casting the
hydrated
right
for this.
spells.
Aspero.
I love
You
it.
know, we were ready, and then Dan drew us these avatars that you can see in the game map, and I am so obsessed with mine. Yo. So yeah, that's me.
Wow. Perfect. Jordan.
Hi, I exist. Here on Chasing Tales, surprisingly enough. You can find me right here in 2 weeks' time on Monday playing this game again. You can also find me in our long-running D&D campaign set in the wonderful land of the Silver Sea created by our one and only Andrew. There I play a wonderful monk called Newt, who is a dumbass and loves to punch things. And is very good at it. Also, on Sunday, you can catch me again here on Chasing Tales playing in our Cyberpunk Red campaign, which was not on this week, but will hopefully be on next week, where I play a beautiful boy called Bobbert Hoot, who is a Robin Hood poser, who is also a dumbass, and also doesn't understand Robin Hood beyond the aesthetics. I have a pattern with my characters.
I like that. I big like
He wasn't
it,
kidding with the low intelligence on every single character he plays. So
Look,
Hey, when you're good at something, you know,
why
like,
would I
don't change
think
it up.
when I can let other people do it for me?
Exactly.
Jordan is Lord of the
Efficiency.
Universe, I swear. And well, yeah, perfect.
And that is my stuff.
Amazing. And I'm Andrew. Yeah, here at Chasing Tales is where I live, and for the next upcoming, so in a fortnight, the next Meetup Monday, we'll be back here playing more Tales of Xadia, finding the strange, mysterious conclusion to this adventure. Also, as Jordan once mentioned, I DM every week the Thursday homebrew D&D 5e campaign adventure, the Adventures of the Silver and Sea, in my homebrew setting and campaign and stuff, which is a lot of fun. You can also find me on Wednesday evenings from 9 p.m. BST over on Witch and Craft, playing my wonderful single-armed Kensei monk Jantara, who is a badass. I think that's all I'm playing around. Oh shit! Also, coming up on Sunday, the 11th, we begin a two-part amazing D&D two-shot set in my new homebrew setting of Meloria, with a wonderful cast of guests, including Jay Coates of The Cognitive Merchant, that support and love us. We should go check that out later on, as I mentioned previously. As well as wonderful My Lady Meg cosplay, both of Chasing Tales fame and also of her own Twitch writes sims and makeup and body painting glory. We're also joined by TJ Storm, aka Godzilla, with Alicia Marie Body, the amazing cosplayer, Hope Lavelle, the amazing roleplayer and stunt actress, and it's gonna be absolutely shitting nuts.
Yes.
So if you want more me running two-part adventures, I'll see you on Sunday.
You guys want that?
You do. It's gonna be fucking dope. I think that ties up who we are, where you can find us, and what's coming up. If you miss any of that or want to just make sure you're reminded and you don't already follow us on the Twitter, make sure you go and fix that. That is Chasing Tales RPG. You'll get all the updates there. It can be overwhelming, so don't worry. Just go there and you'll find it all. If you want to keep up with us throughout the week, you can check out our Discord. There are links below all over the place to get into that. We're a lovely little community and we'd love to have you there. With that, I believe is our rambling done. So thank you so much for joining us here in Xadia for this little two-part adventure. Thank you if you came for this, if you came halfway through, if you joined us for the first time here at Chasing Tales, or if you have been a long-time fan, follower, viewer, person who enjoys shit. We love you, and we will see you next time for whatever is coming up next here on Chasing Tales. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Don't forget to save your PP till next game.
Save your PP.
Always use your PP responsibly.
PP responsibly.
Or at least try. Think about it.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Catch you soon.